Chapter 1370. Treasure Inside the City. Chapter 1370. Treasure Inside the City. Qin Yun saw the little black donkey's message and immediately contacted it. Little mortal, are you also near Yellow Sand City? The little black donkey said with smile. What's going on with the Sun Elf? Qin Yun asked. Just like I said, the Sun Elf fell down along with the Sun Divine Stone and brought along the treasures on the sun. However, the Sun Elf is very strong. Don't even think about obtaining that treasure, you will be killed. The little black donkey said. Qin Yun cut off the connection and continued watching the fight between Xiao Yuelon and the Sun Elf. If I were not injured, you would not be my match. The Sun Elf lightly shouted. His dark green eyes suddenly flashed, green light suddenly enveloped Xiao Yuelon's body. Xiao Yuelon frowned, she sensed a very strong mental power attack. Moreover, it is accompanied by a very scorching energy. Break! Xiao Yuelon's eyes flashed and shot out red light. She has sacred pupil, she can strengthen her mental power and in a short while broke through the green light enveloping her. The Sun Elf suddenly arrived behind Xiao Yuelon in a flash, used his pair of very large and beautiful golden wings to wrap around Xiao Yuelon and stick closely to her body. Everyone saw this and immediately burst into an uproar. Two extremely beautiful and ferocious women are now tangling together in such an ambiguous manner. You! Let me go! Xiao Yuelon furiously said. Humph! You are just my bait. The Sun Elf spoke, turned into a light beam and rushed towards the hole in the city wall and entered Yellow Sand City. After she entered, the hole still hasn't closed. Those who wanted to go over were torn apart by the imposing aura of the Sun Elf rushing over. This? What is this? Qin Yun is startled and shouted, She stole my woman. This. Old Fox Huang also did not expect this, he said in shock. Xiao Qin, then now. What do you plan to do? Of course I will go in. Qin Yun gritted his teeth and said, Yuelon is inside. At this moment, those who believe that there are treasures inside Yellow Sand City once again rushed towards the hole in the city wall. After approaching, they were torn apart by the power released from inside. Old Fox Huang said in low voice, Xiao Qin, there must be something very powerful inside Yellow Sand City. But if you go in, you'll be very safe. That Sun Elf won't kill you. Old Fox, you can just wait for me outside. I will go in myself. After Qin Yun became invisible, he quickly rushed towards the small hole. However, not long after Qin Yun rushed over, a white figure suddenly appeared from the ground. Xiao Yuelon ran out from inside. As for the Sun Elf, he chased after them. Yuelon ran out, so awesome. Qin Yun is secretly delighted. He doesn't need to take the risk to go in. After the Sun Elf came out, her face is filled with anger. She flapped her wings and quickly flew, catching up to Xiao Yuelon in an instant. Her wings shook and golden thunder and fire immediately shot out, striking Xiao Yuelon's back. Xiao Yuelon, who was rushing forward, her figure flashed strangely and appeared behind the Sun Elf. She pushed with her jade-like palm and black shockwave surged out, transforming into a roaring dragon that struck the Sun Elf's back. The Sun Elf roared after being hit, and her body turned into a ray of light that quickly scattered in all directions. It was impossible to catch her at all. Roar! The Nether Realm Heavenly Lion suddenly appeared, roared and flew towards the Sun Elf. At the same time it let out Heavenly Lion's heavenly roar, it clawed at the Sun Elf. Scram! The Sun Elf raised her lily-white hand and shot out a very strong flame that transformed into a roaring dragon head and sent the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion flying. When Xiao Yuelon saw the Sun Elf appear, she immediately flashed over and shot out red light with her sacred eye. You can't beat me! The Sun Elf proudly shouted, her sexy curvy body flickered with flame and shot out a burst of glaring sunlight. Those sunlight rays immediately swallowed up the red light shot out by Xiao Yuelon's sacred eye. Xiao Yuelon knows that if she doesn't defeat the Sun Elf, Qin Yun will definitely be captured. She furiously shouted and punched the sky. Suddenly, a shockwave rushed down from the sky. Boom, boom, boom. The power of the shockwave pressed down the Sun Elf who was flying in the sky. The Nether Realm Heavenly Lion suddenly flew over, jumped up and pounced with all its might. It threw the Sun Elf onto the sand, its large claws pressed down on the Sun Elf's jade body. Bastard, scram far away from me! The Sun Elf became furious. A golden light dot suddenly appeared on his forehead and shot out a golden light beam that penetrated the Nether Realm Heavenly Lion's head. The Nether Realm Heavenly Lion let out a low roar and suddenly dissipated. After being killed by the Sun Elf, it can only be reborn in the 9 Nether Realm. At this time, Xiao Yuelon once again used her sacred eye to attack. Just now, the Sun Elf was careless and Xiao Yuelon seized the opportunity. Ah! The Sun Elf was hit by Xiao Yuelon's sacred eye. It is a very strong mental power attack, as well as suffering divine ability power. The moment the Sun Elf was hit, he temporarily lost the ability to react. In a fight between experts, a moment of carelessness can be fatal. Xiao Yuelon flew over and landed on the ground, her lily-white palm pressed down on the Sun Elf. A vibrating power, along with a very strong mental energy, charged downwards. Moreover, Xiao Yuelon's sacred eye once again attacked the Sun Elf's head. This series of attacks caused the Sun Elf to let out a hoarse and angry roar. "Scram!" the Sun Elf shouted. His body ignited with golden flame and countless golden thunder and lightning rushed out. Xiao Yuelon did not expect the Sun Elf to be able to counterattack. She was caught off guard and was sent flying by the golden thunder and fire. Her body was also wrapped up by the golden thunder and fire. You lost. Xiao Yuelon is also seriously injured. She is gasping for breath. After she crawled up, she arrived beside the Sun Elf and said coldly, "If I were not injured, you would not be able to defeat me." The Sun Elf's face is filled with unwillingness. His blue eyes are filled with cold light as he looked at Xiao Yuelon face to face. However, at this moment, 10 golden lights suddenly flew over from the distance. "It's Great Desert Sacred Cities people, let's hurry over!" Old Fox Huang shouted and hastily rushed over. At this time, Luo Weizhuang, Xianyuan Yefeng and Xianyuan Wanxi's group also rushed over. Great Desert Sacred Cities people are very strong, their speed is very fast and the magic tools in their hands are very dreadful. When they rushed over, they threw a huge golden net towards Luo Weizhuang's group. After the huge golden net fell down, it was like a huge golden wave that submerged Luo Weizhuang's group, causing them to struggle inside. Yu Zuokuan followed the Great Desert Sacred Cities people and charged over with a sinister smile. He shouted, "The Sun Elf is ours!" Xiao Yuelon and the Sun Elf fought until both sides suffered heavy injuries. Although they are very strong, they are currently unable to resist the Great Desert Sacred Cities people. Suddenly, a large amount of yellow sand soared up and transformed into a huge dragon that swept towards the Great Desert Sacred Cities group. Old Fox Huang attacked. It's a Xian Immortal Beast level inscription beast. Quickly use the formation. A middle-aged man from Great Desert Sacred City shouted. Qin Yun arrived beside Xiao Yuelon and supported her weak and exhausted delicate body. "Yuelon, your injuries are very serious," Qin Yun said worriedly. "I'm fine, Xiao Yuelon looked at the seriously injured Sun Elf and said, "Take her away as well. Once she recovers, will she kill us?" Qin Yun is very worried. Xiao Yuelon gritted her teeth and looked at the hole in the city wall and said, "Let's go in." Qin Yun supported Xiao Yuelon and then carried the Sun Elf on his shoulder and quickly rushed towards the hole in the city wall. "Old Fox, are you coming in?" Qin Yun transmitted his voice to Old Fox Huang. "I'm not going in. As long as you guys are safe, I'll go save Old Luo and the others." Old Fox Huang found it very difficult to resist the Great Desert Sacred Cities people. After all, he had to face a large number of powerful Saint-Tier magic tools and weapons. He used a very strong mental power to block the group of people and immediately rushed towards Luo Weizhuang's side to open the net. Yu Zuokuan and the others are secretly astonished. They never expected that this elusive old fox would actually help Luo Weizhuang and the others. This made them believe that it is an inscription beast subdued by the Shiman family. Qin Yun brought Xiao Yuelan and the Sun Elf and entered Yellow Sand City. Many people saw them, but they could not see Qin Yun's face. Luo Weizhuang and the others were attacked by the Great Desert Sacred City's people earlier. They are now very angry and ready to fight. After Qin Yun entered Yellow Sand City, he heaved a sigh of relief. The city was a sparkling golden space, and there were scorching flames everywhere. After entering, what made Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan alarmed is that the Sun Elf seemed to have suddenly come to life. It broke free from Qin Yun and flew towards the center area. Qin Yun is worried that he will be attacked by the Sun Elf. He wanted to bring Xiao Yuelan out, but the hole was suddenly blocked by yellow sand. You will only be throwing away your lives if you go out. The Sun Elf's hoarse and ice-cold voice sounded. Staying with me is the safest. Qin Yun hastily took out the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet and covered himself and the injured Xiao Yuelan. The Sun Elf floated in the center of the space filled with golden flames. He absorbed the flames inside and quickly healed his damaged body and soul. Didn't you refuse to accept it? We can fight again. Xiao Yuelan looked at the Sun Elf and shouted. Humph! In my territory, it is impossible to defeat me. Of course, even if you are not in my territory, you will still lose against me who is uninjured. The Sun Elf said with certainty. Xiao Yuelan said with sneer. Even in your territory, I can still defeat you. The Sun Elf said with sneer. Human woman, you are too arrogant. I admit that you have some strength, but you are still too lacking. Boom. Suddenly, a trembling sound came from outside. Qin Yun looked at the Sun Elf and asked, Hey, is your Yellow Sand City reliable? Can it block the attack? Of course it can. In this desert, my city is invincible, indestructible. The Sun Elf's plump and beautiful jade face is filled with confidence. Boom. Another trembling sound came. A sand wall has been blasted open. The Sun Elf's expression suddenly changed. It became incomparably ugly. He cursed in low voice. It's the Sun Altar's attack, damn it. It can even attack from so far away. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan can now sense that the Yellow Sand City is about to collapse. Kill your way in. A middle-aged man from Great Desert Sacred City said excitedly. With the Sun Altar's attack, we will definitely win. Qin Yun promptly brought Xiao Yuelan and charged forward. When he passed by the Sun Elf, he shouted, Are you leaving or not? Chapter 1371. Divine-boweled Fox Huang immediately rushed in and came to Qin Yun's side. Xiao Yuelan shouted at the Sun Elf, What is so important? He didn't even want his life anymore? Come with us. The Sun Elf was indifferent. He had no intention of leaving. After speaking, Xiao Yuelan rushed over and pulled the Sun Elf, wanting to take her away. Attack! A middle-aged man from the Great Desert Sacred City shouted. A huge mass of energy fell down like countless meteors. Old Fox Huang quickly released his powerful mental energy to form a protective barrier. Yuelan! Qin Yun shouted. Quickly go! Sun Elf looked at Xiao Yuelan and gritted her teeth. Her wings suddenly closed and wrapped around herself and Xiao Yuelan, turning into a ball of golden light. The surrounding golden flames frantically rushed over and were absorbed by her wings. You guys go first, I'll stop them. The Sun Elf's voice came out. Don't worry, I'll protect her. I don't want that thing anymore. I have someone I want to protect now. Qin Yun is somewhat dumbfounded hearing this. The person the Sun Elf said he wanted to protect is Xiao Yuelan? They were fighting to the death just now. Boom boom boom. He did not know what the Great Desert Holy City used to attack, but they shot out many things that looked like meteors. When it smashed down, it released a rumbling explosion, producing a powerful force. Bright lights of various colors were flashing everywhere. In the blink of an eye, Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang were engulfed by the violent flames. "Let's go." Old Fox Huang pulled Qin Yun and used his mental power to open up a path. Then, he quickly rushed out. However, not long after they left, a large ball of golden light fell like a small sun. "Damn it, it's the sun altar's attack," Old Fox Huang cursed. Qin Yun also sensed the power of the tiny sun. It was familiar and terrifying. He is extremely worried because the Sun Elf and Xiao Yuelan are still inside the Golden Flame Sea. Old Fox Huang's speed is very fast. He ran far away with Qin Yun in an instant. Within the damaged Yellow Sand City, the Sun Elves quickly gathered the golden flames. In the blink of an eye, there was only one left. One could see that inside the golden flame, there was a large flame sprite wrapped in its wings, forming a very strong protective shield. Xiao Yuelan and the Sun Elves were inside the large wings inside the protective barrier. Boom! The small golden sun descended and burst out with multicolored light, causing the night to immediately turn into day. Yuelan. Qin Yun clenched his fists tightly from afar. Together with Old Fox Huang, he withstood the intense light and the scorching heat wave. "Return." A deep and cold shout came from afar. A huge jar appeared in the sky. It looked like a golden wine jar. Many golden runes flashed on its surface. It was a very powerful sacred tool. The huge jar produced a very strong suction force, sucking in all the remaining fierce sun flames on the ground. The Sun Elf and Xiao Yuelan, who are wrapped in wings, were also sucked into the jar. Just as Qin Yun was about to rush over, he was pulled back by Old Fox Huang. He shouted in a low voice, "Those guys have very strong sacred tools, and there are quite a few of them. In order to capture the inscription beasts, the great desert sacred city brought many powerful sacred tools from the sacred desolate. How many can you handle?" "Yuelan has been captured," Qin Yun shouted anxiously. "That Sun Elf is very powerful. She should be in a very strong defensive state right now. She can even withstand the attack of the Sun Altar. They will be fine," Old Fox Huang said. "If we go over now, we will definitely be captured or killed. Who will save them at that time?" That huge golden wine jar not only sucked away a large amount of flame, it also sucked in a lot of yellow sand. The original Yellow Sand City has also disappeared. All the flame has been sucked into the sacred tool wine jar. The night sky gradually calmed down, the faint flame energy cloud floating in the air is slowly dissipating. The people in the vicinity are all dumbstruck. After the desert fell into silence, a burst of jubilant exclamations burst out. Mainly Great Desert Sacred City's people are cheering and shouting because they have captured the Sun Elf. At that time, the situation was too chaotic. Great Desert Sacred City's people did not know that the Sun Elf would protect Xiao Yuelan at the critical moment. Therefore, they did not know that they have captured Xiao Yuelan. Great Desert Sacred City's people spread the news on the magic mirror, saying that they have successfully captured the Sun Elf. They even said that Great Desert Sacred City is invincible and so on. In short, Great Desert Sacred City's people are celebrating a festival. They are very happy. The Sun Elves had once attacked the holy city of the desert and caused great damage to it. Because of this, Great Desert Sacred City was laughed at for a period of time. But now, Great Desert Sacred City has used their strongest power and finally captured the Sun Elf. This is indeed worthy of celebration. At that moment, Qin Yun was also on the magic mirror. He learned who the people from the Great Desert Sacred City were. It was said that the 10 battle kings of the immortal mystic desert came from the sacred desolate. They cultivated a sacred body and sacred soul. Furthermore, they were fully equipped with saint-tier equipment. After the Sun Elf was captured by Great Desert Sacred City, Yu family, Lan family, Zheng family, Yao family and other immortal emperors who have good relations with Great Desert Sacred City all congratulated them on the magic mirror. Even the two great emperors congratulated them again and again. In just one night, Great Desert Sacred City became famous in all directions. It is incomparably awe-inspiring. Furthermore, many great powers said that they would send people to Great Desert Sacred City. On one hand, they want to take a closer look at the Sun Elf, and on the other hand, they want to be on good terms with Great Desert Sacred City. Great Desert Sacred City, I will tear down your altar. Qin Yun snorted. He is still very worried about Xiao Yuelon. He recalled what happened before and felt astonished. After the Sun Elf's wings were wrapped up, his defense became extremely terrifying. He was actually able to withstand the altar's attack and didn't seem to be injured. Everyone knows that the Sun Elf is guarding some kind of supreme treasure. And now, the Sun Elf has taken away a large amount of yellow sand used to build Yellow Sand City. Therefore, they all feel that Great Desert Sacred City has obtained that mysterious supreme treasure. Great God Xian Wu also announced on the magic mirror that Great Desert Sacred City will become even stronger because they obtained the Sun Treasure or something. Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang did not go far. The others also followed the people of Great Desert Sacred City and left. Qin Yun contacted Luo Weizhuang and others and told them to return first. Xiao Qin, that Sun Elf must have been subdued by Yuelon. Old Fox Huang said, I observed before, after absorbing Sunflame, Sun Elf can recover very quickly. That sacred tool that looks like a wine jar has absorbed the sun fire that was shot out from the altar. She should be able to recover very quickly inside it. Her defense is very strong, it should be because she absorbed Sunflame. Qin Yun is now a lot more relaxed. If the Sun Elf completely recovers, dealing with a Xian immortal like Qiao Tianxu won't be a problem at all. Old Fox Huang patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said, Back then, when Great Desert Sacred City was attacked, the Xian immortals inside didn't dare to take action. They all hid inside. It is clear that they are very afraid. Qin Yun nodded and said, If that's the case, once the Sun Elf comes out of that wine jar, they will be in danger. Indeed. They definitely won't dare to release the Sun Elf so easily. However, we still need to find stronger helpers as soon as possible and attack Great Desert Sacred City to save them. Old Fox Huang said. Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang looked at the large crater in front of them. That is the original location of Yellow Sand City. Let's go take a look. Old Fox Huang said. Qin Yun followed Old Fox Huang and jumped into the large crater. He can feel the remnant heat. There's nothing. Qin Yun sighed and then took out the red compass he obtained from Zheng Shuangzi. Not only can it detect inscription beasts, it can also detect nearby objects. The needle of the compass is violently trembling, moreover it is constantly spinning, there is no direction. What's going on? There are inscription beasts down there? Qin Yun cried out in alarm. No. This compass should be able to detect runes and have different reaction according to the strength of the runes. Old Fox Huang said with frown. It is constantly spinning, there is no direction, don't tell me it is under our feet. Qin Yun shouted in alarm. The Sun Elf said she wanted to protect something. Is it still here? Old Fox Huang nodded and said, It should still be here. She gave up that thing to protect Yuelon, that's why she didn't take it away. Don't those people from Great Desert Sacred City have a compass? They actually didn't discover it. There are only 3 of these compasses, one is in Qin Yun's hands, the other 2 are in the hands of other disciples, those disciples did not come. Qin Yun used the mysterious penetration divine ability and constantly drilled down. After a long time, he went several thousand meters underground and finally found a square golden crystal. The rectangular golden crystal is as tall as a person and inside it is a golden red longbow. This is a bow? Qin Yun frowned and then put away the golden crystal. After he came to the surface, he took out the crystal. This is the thing that the Sun Elf is guarding? Old Fox Huang said in astonishment. If it was born from inside the sun, then this bow must be very strong. The longbow is very beautiful, golden red and carved with many runes. Qin Yun is unable to tell what kind of runes it is for a moment. He only feels that it is very complicated and very strong. Take it out. Old Fox Huang struck the golden crystal with his palm. After a few consecutive palm strikes, cracks appeared on it. After the crystal was shattered, Qin Yun took out the bow. He is secretly astonished because this beautiful golden red longbow is the same as his 9 sun divine hammer. It has fallen into a deep slumber. This means that a core fragment is needed to temporarily awaken it. Could this also be one of the sun souls? Qin Yun can't believe it. It might not be a sun soul, but it's similar. Ling Yuner said, they are all divine objects naturally formed inside the sun. Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and contacted Shimin Dezhuang. He told him to come over and prepare to set off for Great Desert Sacred City. Shimin Dezhuang and Pippi Pig ran far away earlier because they were worried that they would be affected. Just as Qin Yun finished contacting Shimin Dezhuang and checked the news of the magic mirror, he learned that one of the sun-suppressing divine arrows was seized by someone during the night. The one who seized the sun-suppressing divine arrow was actually a little girl. After she obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow, she immediately disappeared, as if she had teleported. Although there is no relevant image, Qin Yun knows that it must be Siekiru. Chapter 1372 1372 Chapter 1372 Holy Nascent Power. Qin Yun promptly contacted Siekiru. She said that she obtained the sun-suppressing divine arrow and has something important to do. She did not say anything else. Originally, Qin Yun wanted to tell Siekiru that he wants to attack the sun altar. Because he is worried that Siekiru will be distracted and unable to earnestly complete her mysterious mission, he chose to conceal this matter. Yang Shuriwei and Xian Rujing both know that the little girl is the amnesiac Siekiru, but they did not contact Qin Yun. They feel that Qin Yun does not know much about this matter. Does this bow have any connection with the sun-suppressing divine arrow? Old Fox Huang said, this is a divine bow that came from inside the sun. If it is used with the mysterious and unfathomable sun-suppressing divine arrow, wouldn't it be very powerful? It should be. We don't have the sun-suppressing divine arrow. Qin Yun looked at the golden red divine bow in his hand. It is very light in his hand, as if he does not feel anything. However, when he pulled the bowstring, he felt that it is very strenuous. He can only pull it a little bit. Old Fox Huang saw that Qin Yun is strenuously unable to pull it and said, let me try. Qin Yun handed over the divine bow to Old Fox Huang. Old Fox Huang shouted loudly and pulled it a little bit. It is not much better than Qin Yun. Truly a very powerful thing. Old Fox Huang is extremely shocked and then returned the divine bow to Qin Yun. After Qin Yun put away the divine bow, he didn't wait long before Shimin Dezhuang ran over on Pippi Pig. What happened here? Those bastards from Great Desert Sacred City seem to have picked up a treasure. Shimin Dezhuang asked. Pippi Pig also saluted Old Fox Huang, this old senior. We are preparing to attack Great Desert Sacred City. Qin Yun said, there are only a few of us for now, are you going? Shimin Dezhuang looked at Pippi Pig. Pippi Pig nodded and said, we will go but we won't go near, we will only stay outside, is that okay? Sure. Qin Yun did not force Pippi Pig and Shimin Dezhuang because their strength is limited. He let Pippi Pig and Shimin Dezhuang go, because Pippi Pig's fart was still very strong. Old Fox Huang said to Qin Yun, little Qin, why don't we do this? Let's go to the vicinity of the Great Desert Holy City and hide there. Let's investigate the situation inside first. Eat the divine fruit I gave you and see if you can become stronger. Qin Yun felt that if his cultivation level was at the 9th tier upper immortal realm, he would be able to put up a fight against a mystic immortal. Even if Qiao Tianxu were to attack him, he would still be able to block it. All right, it's settled then. Qin Yun nodded. They immediately rushed to the great desert sacred city. At this moment, many powers from the immortal desolate sent people to the great desert sacred city to befriend them. The great desert holy city had obtained a supreme treasure from the sun and captured a sun elf, causing its reputation to soar and its prestige to soar overnight. Even the purple ice sacred city, which had some conflicts with the great desert sacred city, sent their congratulations on the magic mirror and even sent people to deliver gifts. Sun elves were extremely rare. It was said that they were the same as those sun-rune beasts. They were all heaven-defying existences. Moreover, the sun elves knew many secrets about the sun, which was what the various factions were paying attention to. While Qin Yun and company were on their way, the magic mirror announced the shocking news. The sun elf who had turned into a ball of fire was placed on the sun altar, inside a very strong barrier. Through the magic mirror, Qin Yun can see that the sun elf is still using her pair of large and beautiful fairy wings to wrap herself up. Moreover, the sun flame is still burning outside, turning it into a ball of fire. It is impossible to see the situation inside. Xiao Yun, try and see if you can contact Yuelon now, Ling Yuner suddenly said. Qin Yun promptly used the magic mirror and sent a message to Xiao Yuelon. Yuelon, how are you guys? We are fine for the time being, she is protecting me. We are all recovering from our injuries. Xiao Yuelon sent a message. Xiao Yun, don't come and save us. Wait until our injuries are healed, we will be able to kill our way out. Qin Yun immediately felt a lot more at ease. He sent a message and asked, "What is your relationship with the Sun Elf? Has she been subdued by you? We can be considered friends." "I can't subdue her," Xiao Yuelon replied. "Let's not talk anymore, I want to rest." Shimen Dezhuang, who is riding a pig, also looked at the magic mirror and shouted, "Sun altar is condensing energy, it is going to blast open the Sun Elf's defense." Old Fox Huang's face is immediately filled with worry. Tens of thousands of people in the great desert sacred city are surrounding the Sun altar. They all want to see the beautiful and enchanting Sun Elf. Boom! After a loud explosion, the small sun condensed by the Sun altar exploded on the altar. The Sun Elf, who is wrapped in a ball of fire, is beside the small sun. The fierce explosion shook the entire great desert sacred city. That glaring light made it difficult for people to open their eyes. The highest level of the altar is protected by a very strong barrier. Even if the small sun exploded, it would not be able to blast open the barrier, otherwise the entire great desert sacred city would be finished. After a while, the light gradually dimmed. The ball of fire wrapped around the Sun Elf is still there. Through the ball of fire, one can see the golden wings of the Sun Elf. There are no signs of it exploding. The most shocking thing is that there are many runes flowing on the surface of the wings. They are actually quickly absorbing all kinds of energy from the altar. The Sun altar's close-range attack is actually unable to break the Sun Elf's defense. Such astonishing defense caused all kinds of shouts to ring out from the surroundings of the Sun altar. Great Desert Sacred City's City Master Qiao Tianxu also announced that he will launch the second attack. Not long after, the second attack began. Just like before, it is still unable to break the Sun Elf's defense. Instead, most of the energy is being absorbed. After the Sun altar's second attack, Qiao Tianxu announced that he will not launch the third attack because it is useless. He also took this opportunity to welcome all kinds of capable people from the Immortal Desolate to come to the Great Desert Sacred City and break the Sun Elf's defense. Now, Qiao Tianxu and the others don't dare to open the Sun altar's barrier. They are worried that the Sun Elf will suddenly run out and start a massacre. The Sun Elf was hit by the altar before. After being injured, she ran very far away. Now that she has been hit twice in a row, she seems to be fine. That pair of Sun Elf wings are really strong. Old Fox Huang looked at the magic mirror. His eyes are filled with envy. He exclaimed in admiration and said, "This kind of creature is truly terrifying. No matter how powerful she is, being hit by Pippi Pig's fart will be very uncomfortable." Shiman Dezhuang said very disdainfully, "Many of my Shiman family's elders are scared to death after being attacked by Pippi Pig." This made Pippi Pig very happy. It laughed wretchedly, twisted its butt and ran away. Qin Yun is now a lot more at ease. He is only worried that Xiao Yuelan would be abducted by the Sun Elf. "Yuner, didn't that Sun Elf say that she wanted to capture me and make me her companion? Now she doesn't want to capture me and instead has taken a fancy to Yuelan. What is this? Qin Yun has a headache regarding this matter." "Don't be afraid, Yuelan can handle it," Ling Yuner said with a smile. "When we are near the great desert sacred city, you should quickly cultivate. Become stronger first, otherwise you will be bullied by the Sun Elf in the future." "I won't be bullied by her," Qin Yun lightly snorted. However, he can indeed see that the Sun Elf and Xiao Yuelan's character are similar. They are both very good at fighting and very arrogant. Not long after, Qin Yun and company arrived near the great desert sacred city. Old Fox Huang used his mental power to open up a spacious stone room under the sand, and then ran out to investigate. Qin Yun ate a senseless immortal pill in the stone room under the sand, and then ate the dragon divine fruit. Then, he began cultivating. Shiman Dezhuang and Pippi Pig ran out to play. They are people who can't sit still. "Xiao Yun, if you want to attack the Sun Altar, you will have to use the 9 Sun Divine Hammer. At that time, it will be exposed," Ling Yuner said. "It doesn't matter, when the time comes, Xiao Ding, the Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor, will lose control of all the Devil Mirrors," Qin Yun said with smile. "Even if they see it, they won't be able to immediately release it." As Qin Yun's cultivation became higher and higher, the speed at which he refined the divine fruit became faster and faster. In just 2 days, the divine fruit was completely refined by him. Finally, 8th level upper immortal realm. The heavenly Tao arrogant force has not completely formed yet. Qin Yun looked at the 3 things revolving around the nether sun. The heavenly lion and the flame hammer have very clear outline, the surface details are very fine. As for the heavenly Tao arrogant force that transformed into a dragon, it is still blurry and its color is uncertain, changing back and forth. Mo inside the 9 Sun Divine Soul lightly shouted, "Big brother! Your divine liquid has been completely absorbed by the little baby." "Ah? So fast?" Qin Yun said in amazement. "Then can the holy infant fruit release energy for me to absorb?" "Yes, but not much," Mo said with light smile. "Big brother, let me out, I will let the little baby release energy for you to absorb." Qin Yun promptly took out Mo and the holy infant fruit, and let them stay in his palm. The holy infant fruit is a very small person, it has green leaf-like clothes on its body. It naughtily jumped around in Qin Yun's palm, and let out baby-like laughter. The holy infant fruit is very obedient to Mo and very quickly calmed down. Then its whole body released faint golden light. Qin Yun immediately absorbed it into his body. Very strong. Qin Yun immediately sensed 9 very strong energy entering his body. Through the 9 Sun Divine Soul, he can absorb 9 very strong and mysterious energy from the holy infant fruit. This kind of fierce and formidable energy entered his body through his palm. It is as if it wants to tear apart his tendons and veins. The holy infant fruit's energy is truly crazy. Awesome. Qin Yun feels that using the divine liquid was very worth it. He is just puzzled that Mo can actually endure this kind of energy. Although Mo said that the energy released by the holy infant fruit is not much, after Qin Yun absorbed it, he feels that it is a lot. "I will become a 9th stage ascendant immortal very soon." Qin Yun is secretly excited in his heart. More and more people arrived at Great Desert Sacred City. These past 2 days, Xiao Tianxiu and many other sacred desolate people have used all kind of tools to try and break the Sun Elf's defense. They can't even store the Sun Elf inside any sacred tool. They were able to store the Sun Elf inside the jar before, but now they can't. Even though Xiao Tianxiu and others captured the Sun Elf, they can't obtain it, they can't even see it. They are now deeply worried that the Sun Elf will suddenly run out. Chapter 1373. Desert Race. Xiao Tianxiu was very conflicted. He wanted to give up on the Sun Elf, but he had spent a lot of effort to capture it. If he couldn't get anything out of it, how could he explain it to the entire holy city of the Great Desert? Moreover, the entire Immortal Desolate is paying attention to this matter. They want to see the Sun Elf and that supreme treasure. At the top of the Sun Altar, there was a very strong enchantment, mainly used to imprison the Sun Elves. It consumed a lot of energy every day. He had even occupied the Sun Altar, causing it to be unable to launch any attacks or perform any teleportation or sacrificial rituals. This was something that Xiao Tianxiu and the rest were very puzzled about. They did not dare to close the barrier now, because the Sun Elf had absorbed 2 attacks from the Sun Altar. It seemed like he could use that energy to heal his injuries. With that, Xiao Tianxiu wanted to get rid of this hot potato even more and reap some benefits at the same time. Within the Sun Altar, Xiao Tianxiu paced back and forth anxiously. Why is that Sun Elf's defense so powerful? Not even the Sun Altar could break through. If this goes on, we'll need to expend large amounts of energy to maintain the barrier every day. Xiao Tianxiu sighed with a worried frown. The Sun Elves come from the sun, and the attacks released by the Sun Altar are mostly sun flames. This kind of attack is obviously unable to deal with the Sun Elves. We were only able to injure her once by luck. An old man said, "Every day we need to consume a large amount of immortal jade beads to maintain the barrier. If this goes on, no matter how many immortal jade beads there are, it won't be enough." Xiao Tianxiu cursed in a low voice. If we remove the barrier and the Sun Elves suddenly attack, Great Desert Holy City will be finished. A middle-aged man said to Xiao Tianxiu, "Master Xiao, I have an idea. Let's let the Sun Elves go." "Let me out? Sell it? To whom?" "Even if we can't get the Sun Elves, we can't let anyone else get them." Xiao Tianxiu snorted. "Those bastards from the Purple Ice Sacred City, they must be laughing at us right now. If we transfer it to them, what can they do about the Sun Elves? Wouldn't that be a huge loss for us?" "Master Xiao, let's hold a martial arts competition. Whoever obtained the final victory would obtain the Sun Elf. At that time, our people will also participate and ensure that we can get first place." The middle-aged man chuckled and said, "If you want to participate in the martial arts competition, you have to pay 1 billion immortal jade beads to register. There will definitely be many people signing up." Xiao Tianxiu rolled his eyes and asked, 1 billion immortal jade beads? Isn't this a little too much? Do they believe us? What's more, if we're caught playing tricks, the reputation that we've just built up will be ruined. Also, the Purple Ice Sacred City will definitely send people to participate." The middle-aged man chuckled and said, "Master Xiao, we will fight fair and square. We can decide the rules of every match according to the situation. For example, if the opponent is very strong and we suddenly allow them to use equipment, then Purple Ice Holy City will definitely not be our match. In the end, not only will we be able to win first place, we will also be able to obtain a large amount of immortal jade beads to maintain the operation of the barrier. We will also be able to display our strength through this competition." Xiao Tianxiu's eyes lit up, but he was a little worried. He said, "I'm afraid that not many people will participate. After all, the registration fee of 1 billion immortal jade beads is too much. Should I reduce it a little? How about 500 million? Those who can fork out 500 million in registration fees don't mind spending 1 billion. The middle-aged man said with treacherous smile, When the time comes, we will also propose to give some rewards to the top 8. This way people will feel that even if they don't get first place, they will not suffer a loss. Then, even more people will sign up. Qiao Tianxu nodded and said, "If our 10 great battle kings participate, they will definitely get a very high ranking. Let's do it this way, we want even more immortal jade beads." Qin Yun, who is in secluded cultivation, suddenly sensed that old Fox Huang has returned. He opened his eyes and continued absorbing the energy released by the holy infant fruit. When old Fox Huang saw Mo and the holy infant fruit in Qin Yun's palm, he is slightly alarmed. He promptly said respectfully, "Greetings, High Priest. Old Grandpa, after your runes evolved, did you become stronger?" Mo asked sweetly. "I've become a lot stronger," Old Fox Huang said with smile. "Meeting High Priest is truly a rare opportunity for me." He is not surprised to see Mo happily playing with the holy infant fruit. Back then, Old Fox Huang was the one who gave the holy infant fruit to Mo. "Shao Qin, I just received an important news. Because Great Desert Holy City can't do anything to the Sun Fairies, they are now in a hurry to get rid of them. They are holding a martial arts competition. As long as they can get first place, they will be able to obtain the Sun Fairies. However, they will have to pay 1 billion registration fee," Old Fox Huang said. After Qin Yun heard this, he said with sneer, "Qiao Tianxu and others' barrier needs to consume a lot of immortal jade beads to maintain every day, right? They want to fish out a lot of immortal jade beads to maintain the barrier. So long as they have enough immortal jade beads to maintain the barrier, Qiao Tianxu and others will have a way to break through the Sun Fairies' defense." That's right. However, do Qiao Tianxu and others really have the confidence to keep first place? If they can't, they will open the barrier and let people take away the Sun Fairies. Moreover, the process of taking them away will be very troublesome. Qiao Tianxu said, "From what I see, only Purple Ice Holy City has the chance to get first place." Qin Yun shook his head and said, "Not necessarily, all the powerful factions feel that their 9th stage upper immortals have the confidence to get first place. There are many hidden geniuses in the immortal desolate." "Shao Qin, what about you? Do you want to participate?" Old Fox Huang laughed. "If I were a 9th stage upper immortal, I would also want to give it a try." "Of course I want to participate," Qin Yun said with smile. "I am very confident in my own strength. When will it begin?" Old Fox Huang said, "The registration will end in 10 days. Great Desert Holy City will give all the factions enough time to consider." Qin Yun nodded. 10 days is enough for me to gather enough immortal jade beads. What I am worried about is that they will recognize me and won't be able to proceed smoothly." Old Fox Huang walked back and forth a few times and said, "When you go to participate, you don't need to hide your identity. I will go with you to register. You should hide your cultivation, make others think that you are just a little upper immortal. Since the Sun Altar is used to trap the Sun Fairies, it can't be used for the time being. Qiao Tianxu and others won't dare to act recklessly against me." "That's right, they won't dare to fight us head-on." Qin Yun nodded and said with smile, "Otherwise they will suffer great losses." "Oh, that's right, if you enter top 8, you will get an inner core fragment," Old Fox Huang said. "Qin Yun only has 4 inner core fragments, it is very little to him." "Alright, go contact Old Luo and others, tell them not to participate, it will only waste immortal jade beads," Qin Yun said. "Maybe they want to enter top 8 and get an inner core fragment?" Old Fox Huang said with smile. "It seems like it won't be easy. After all, Purple Ice Sacred City and Great Desert Holy City's 9th stage upper immortals are participating. Moreover, there are also those geniuses and little monsters from various major factions." Qin Yun closed his eyes and said, 10 days is enough for me to become even stronger." Old Fox Huang also left and sent voice transmission to Shimen Dezhuang, telling them not to disturb Qin Yun. Great Desert Holy City wants to send out the Sun Fairies. This matter very quickly caused a commotion in the Immortal Desolate. Every faction's big shots sent out instructions and arranged for their disciples to go to Great Desert Holy City. Every faction's higher-ups can see that Great Desert Holy City wants to fish for immortal jade beads. However, every faction has confidence in their sect's 9th stage upper immortals. They believe that even if they can't fight for first place, they can still fight for top 8 and get an inner core fragment. This way, they will not suffer a loss, they will even make a profit. After Purple Ice Sacred City's Elder Wu heard this news, he immediately gathered 10 youngsters, 7 men and 3 women. They are all handsome and beautiful, wearing purple and white robes. You are the strongest 9th stage upper immortals in my Purple Ice Sacred City. As long as you can win first place and let our Purple Ice Sacred City obtain the Sun Fairies, I guarantee that after you return to Sacred Desolate, you will be able to achieve meteoric success. Elder Wu said, for the 10 of you, I will help you pay the registration fee of 10 billion. It is up to you. Elder Wu is a Xian immortal. He can't enter the immortal Xian desert. He can only watch through the devil mirror. Suddenly, a middle-aged man walked in. His aura is very strong. City Master. Elder Wu and those youngsters bowed and said, you can go to Great Desert Holy City and participate in the competition without worry. If Qiao Tianshu dares to act shamelessly, I will control the Sun Altar and destroy his Great Desert Holy City. The Purple Ice City Lord said coldly, I will remind Qiao Tianshu. You don't have to worry about them playing tricks. Yes, City Lord. The 10 young men replied in unison. In order to obtain the mysterious Sun Elf, the various forces sent their strongest 9th Ascendant Immortals to the Holy City of Great Desert. By then, everyone knew that only a few of the so-called 10 Great Exalted Immortals were truly capable. The rest were all fake goods. This time, the Great Desert Sacred City's 10 Great Battle Kings were participating. Yu Zuokuan was very clear about the strength of the 10 Great Battle Kings. Therefore, it was impossible for him to enter the top 8. However, Yu Zuokuan wanted to prove that he was not a fake from the 10 Exalted Immortal rankings, so he also signed up. He had tried his best to bluff the higher-ups of the Yu family, saying that it wouldn't be a problem for him to enter the top 8. At the very least, he would be able to obtain a core fragment, which was definitely not a loss. Upon learning that Qin Yun was participating, Luo Weizhuang, Xianyuan Wanxi, and Xianyuan Yefeng did not register. This was because they were very clear about their own strength. If they were to face someone with a sacred body or sacred soul, they would definitely lose. Only Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan had the strength to fight. Now, many people feel that other than the people from Purple Ice Holy City and Great Desert Holy City, Xiao Yuelan has the highest possibility of obtaining first place. Because Xiao Yuelan and the Sun Elf fought a great battle before, they were evenly matched. In the end, both sides suffered heavy injuries. Everyone thought that Xiao Yuelan was healing, but they didn't know that Xiao Yuelan was healing together with the Sun Elf. In just a few days, Great Desert Holy City has gathered powerful 9th stage, exalted immortals. The people of Immortal Desolate never knew that there were so many powerful 9th stage, exalted immortals. Many of them were never heard of, but they gave people a very strong feeling. Chapter 1374. 1374 Chapter 1374 Strongest Exalted Immortals gather in just a few days. More than 100 people have signed up. Qiao Tianshu and the others are grinning from ear to ear because they have already obtained more than 100 billion immortal jade beads. The registration period is 10 days. 8 days passed. What surprised Qiao Tianshu and the others is that Guanghan Palace's Xiao Yuelan did not appear. Everyone knows that Xiao Yuelan is very strong. She can kill Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates Xian Immortal. Xiao Yuelan did not appear. Purple Ice Sacred City, Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. These ninth stage exalted immortals from powerful factions all felt a lot more at ease. Now it is also being spread that Xiao Yuelon was seriously injured by the Sun Elf and will not be able to recover in a short period of time. Guanghan Palace did not send any disciples. This made many factions feel that it is not normal. After all, Guanghan Palace can be considered a powerful faction. They can cultivate a crazy female devil like Xiao Yuelon. Guanghan Palace's disciples did not come, but Shiman family's disciples came. Only 5 people came to sign up. 4 great hidden inscription families, Shiman family, Qin family, Xiao family and Qi family, each sent a few people. Many great factions in Immortal Desolate, after careful consideration, only sent 1 or 2 people. Because the competition is too great, if they cannot enter the top 8, it would be a great loss. Qin Yun, who is hiding deep underground, has already stepped into the 9th level of Upper Immortal Realm. He is still absorbing the sacred infant fruit's power. He wants to cultivate to the peak of the 9th level of Upper Immortal Realm. The dragon of Heavenly Tao's proud force has finally taken form. Qin Yun looked at the heavenly lion, fire hammer and dragon revolving outside the nether sun. That dragon is white, which surprised Qin Yun. He thought it would be black. They are all a bit small, next I should make them bigger. That should be a matter of Xian, Immortal Realm. Qin Yun is currently working hard to make these 3 heavenly Tao's power stronger and reach the peak. He did not immediately sign up. Instead, he took advantage of the fact that his cultivation is enough to strengthen his martial skills. On the last day, Qin Yun left the underground stone room with Old Fox Huang. Shiman Dezhuang and Pippi Pig have already followed the Shiman family people into the Great Desert Sacred City. Xiao Tianshu said before that everyone is welcome to participate in the competition, even his enemies can sign up. Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang walked towards Great Desert Holy City. Qin Yun wore clean and tidy white clothes, and there was a faint smile on his handsome face. He had retracted his aura, and it was impossible to tell that he was a very strong 9th layer ascendant immortal. Old Fox Huang was dressed in gray and bent over like a small old man. He had a gentle smile on his face, and did not look very strong. However, Old Fox Huang is a powerful old fox. He is also a legend in the immortal Xian Desert. Everyone knows that he is a very strong inscription beast. Seeing Old Fox Huang arrive, the majestic golden gates of the Great Desert Sacred City immediately closed. The guards at the city gate were all on high alert, their hearts filled with fear. Everyone knew that Old Fox Huang was a mystic immortal beast, while the people in the city were only 9th-tier ascendant immortals. Even though Qiao Tianshu and the rest were Xian immortals, they could only stay inside the altar. The Sun Altar was the Great Desert Holy City's strongest fortress. It originally had a very strong attack power, but because it had to trap the Sun Elf, it could not be used for the time being. Qiao Tianshu was shocked to learn that Old Fox Huang was outside the city. What caused him to be even more shocked is that Qin Yun is still alive and his relationship with Old Fox Huang is so good. Qin Yun arrived at this kind of time together with Old Fox Huang. This caused Qiao Tianshu to be very worried. Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang discussed before to attack the Sun Altar together. However, they were worried that the Sun Altar's defense is very strong. Moreover, they would have to face the attacks of many formidable 9th-tier ascendant immortals. Therefore, they gave up on this idea. As long as he can get first place, he can take away the Sun Elf fair and square. This is the safest method. Qiao Tianshu, you said that even your enemies can participate in the martial arts competition. Qin Yun's voice reverberated in the sky above the Great Desert Holy City. Everyone is shocked. Qin Yun is actually still alive. Everyone knows that Qin Yun hid inside a pagoda and then was blasted away by the Sun Altar. Luo Weizhuang and the others who have good relationship with Qin Yun released this news, confirming that Qin Yun is dead. Qin Yun, are you sincerely participating in the martial arts competition? or are you here to cause trouble? Is that old fox the inscription beast you subdued? During the martial arts competition, you are not allowed to use inscription beast. Qiao Tianxu's voice came from the sun altar. If we were here to cause trouble, Great Desert Holy City would have already been breached by me. Old Fox Wang chuckled. Originally, I wanted to directly break the door and enter, but my lord said to be a bit more polite. Hearing Old Fox Wang's words, the people inside the city cannot help but shiver. Qin Yun has truly subdued an inscription beast, moreover it is a Xian immortal beast. This caused many of Qin Yun's enemies to be secretly afraid. Because Xian immortal beasts are very formidable existences inside the immortal Xian desert. Qiao Tianxu's tone is very strict, he warned Qin Yun. Qin Yun, you sincerely came to participate in the martial arts competition, of course I welcome you. If you cause trouble in the city, don't blame us for being unreasonable. Although you subdued a formidable inscription beast, we are not afraid of you. You were lucky enough to survive before, but if you cause trouble in the city, you won't be so lucky. Qiao Tianxu said he is not afraid of Old Fox Huang. That is a lie. What made them feel at ease is that Great Desert Holy City has many ninth-stage ascendant immortals from powerful factions. These ninth-stage ascendant immortals have already paid the registration fee. They will certainly not allow others to cause trouble. Many disciples of famous sects who are participating in the martial arts competition released fierce words on the devil mirror. If Qin Yun dares to cause trouble, they will join hands and kill him. After the city gate opened, there is a spacious street. At the end of it is the 18-layer sun altar. Qin Yun brought Old Fox Huang with his hands behind his back and slowly walked in. His eyes are filled with fierce might. The people on the street quickly moved to the side. They are not afraid of Qin Yun, they are afraid of Old Fox Huang. Many people have seen Old Fox Huang's strength before, it is very dreadful. A few hundred meters in front of the sun altar, there is a golden battle platform. That golden battle platform is the one of Purple Ice Sacred City. They are also worried that Great Desert Holy City will cheat. That is why they propose to use their Purple Ice Sacred City's battle platform. Qin Yun was wearing a smiling face mask before. Because he hid it very well, no one could see through his identity. Of course, the legend of the masked uncle also caused many people to sigh in admiration. Because he is a very young and very powerful inscription mysterious sect. Qin Yun raised his head and puffed out his chest. His face has a faint smile as he walked to the battle platform. 1 billion immortal jade beads. Qin Yun took out a storage pouch and handed it over to an old man on the battle platform. These immortal jade beads were sent over by Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor. He also knows that Qin Yun wants to participate in this martial arts competition. You are the 146th to sign up, the old man said and then made a token for Qin Yun. Yuzhuakuan is below. After seeing Qin Yun, he said with sneer. This guy is just a little exalted immortal. He was lucky enough to subdue a powerful inscription beast. What is there to be cocky about? The reason he came to sign up is to give the immortal jade beads to Master Qiao. Hearing his words, Old Fox Huang turned his head and looked over. When Yuzhuakuan saw Old Fox Huang's seemingly very kind expression, he cannot help but step back again and again. Fear arose in his heart and he doesn't dare to speak anymore. Everyone, the martial arts competition will begin as soon as possible. Before the martial arts competition begins, we will conduct a test and select the number of people to 80. Qiao Tianxu's voice came over. He did not announce the specific rules and details of the martial arts competition in advance. The main reason is to make changes in the future and make changes that are beneficial to them. The people who came to participate in the martial arts competition felt that as long as they have enough strength, if Qiao Tianxu played any tricks, Purple Ice Sacred City would not let them off. Qin Yun looked around and did not see Shimen Dezhuang. After he walked down from the battle platform, he followed Old Fox Huang and walked towards Luo Weizhuang. Luo Weizhuang and others entered the city very early. They are also waiting for Qin Yun. At this moment, they brought Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang to their residence. After Qin Yun left, everyone immediately started discussing. They are all guessing Qin Yun's cultivation. Many people felt that Qin Yun is only at the 4th or 5th level of the upper immortal realm, and that he came to participate in the martial arts competition to prove that he is still alive. Xiao Tianxiu was originally worried that Qin Yun's cultivation is extremely high. Qin Yun killed Lan Bufan and Zheng Shuangzi before. But when he saw Old Fox Huang following Qin Yun, he believed that it was Old Fox Huang who did it. Master Qiao, Qin Yun has our compass in his hands, we must snatch it back, a middle-aged man said while gnashing his teeth. Snatch it back? How are we going to snatch it back? Did this guy really come to participate in the martial arts competition just to join in the fun? Did he waste 1 billion immortal jade beads to join in the fun? Xiao Tianxiu shook his head and said with sigh, I really did not expect that he could subdue such a good inscription beast. How did he do it? Don't tell me that we should just endure it like this? That compass is very precious. The middle-aged man said very unwillingly. If that fox goes all out, we will have to think it over. Xiao Tianxiu waved his hand. Don't think about Qin Yun for now, the most important thing for us is to secure first place. Xiao Yuelan is not here, our first place should be secured. The middle-aged man said with smile. No. According to our secret investigation, there are many powerful 9th stage upper immortals here. This immortal desolate is much stronger than we imagined. The strength that Xiao Yuelan displayed before caused the 9th stage upper immortals of Purple Ice Sacred City to feel endless fear. Xiao Tianxiu sighed. I hope everything goes smoothly for us. Master Qiao, although only a few people from Shimen family came to participate, the others who came to watch the show are also very strong. They must have secretly brought inscription beasts with them. We must guard against them. The middle-aged man cursed in low voice. I saw Shimen Dezhuang, this bastard is holding a little pig in his arms. Qin Yun followed Luo Weizhuang and company to a house. This is their rented residence, it is very spacious and can accommodate many people. As soon as he entered, Qin Yun saw Shimen Dezhuang run out. He is holding a little white pig in his arms. Is this Pippi Pig? Qin Yun looked at the little pig and said with smile, after becoming small it is really cute. Even if it becomes small, it can still fart. Shimen Dezhuang grinned and said, I can hide Pippi Pig in my wide sleeves and then ha ha ha. Everyone immediately dispersed. They are worried that Shimen Dezhuang would act recklessly. Shimen Dezhuang laughed evilly at Qin Yun in low voice. Uncle, my Shimen family's #1 beauty is here. She was originally a Xian immortal. I don't know what secret technique she used, but she can actually enter the immortal Xian Great Desert. She signed up? Qin Yun's brows twitched. He is also very astonished in his heart. Chapter 1375. One-armed sword deity Shimen Dezhuang pulled Qin Yun's arm and said with smile, Let's go, I will take you to meet big cousin sister. I guarantee that you will definitely fall in love with her. Don't worry, I'll definitely be able to bring you two together. If I can't, I'll knock her out and let you two have sex. Qin Yun quickly retracted his hand and retreated to the side. He scolded jokingly, Dezhuang, you can't force this kind of thing. Don't mess things up for me. Uncle, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of your first wife? What's there to be afraid of? I'll help you take care of her at that time. Shimen Dezhuang laughed. Qin Yun rolled his eyes at Shimen Dezhuang and followed old Luo into the inner hall. Brother Qin, last time you gave Brother Chuan some powder. He went back to find those old inscription profound sects. In the end, those two inscription profound sects almost fought, wanting to help Brother Chuan repair his act. Brother Chuan was overjoyed. This is enough for him to brag for a while, ha ha. Luo Weizhuang laughed. Qin Yun felt that he had used a little bit of divine iron powder to exchange for the Yang Emperor inscription spirit. This made him feel somewhat apologetic. He felt that he should have given Luo Dongchuan more divine iron powder back then. Next time I see him, I will give him some, Qin Yun said with smile. Then I will first thank Brother Qin on behalf of Brother Chuan. In the future, if there is anything we can help you with, Brother Chuan and I will definitely not refuse. Luo Weizhuang said with a smile. His relationship with Luo Dongchuan was very good. In the future, he would also follow Luo Dongchuan. Luo Dongchuan was the city lord of Luo Tian City in Dusk Province. It could be said that he was the head of the Luo family in Dusk Province. If Qin Yun were to build a good relationship with Luo Dongchuan, it would be very convenient for him to ask for help in the future. Old Fox Huang ate some fruits and said with a smile, Old Luo, your Luo family is also a relatively strong family in the Immortal Desolate. How much do you know about the people participating in this competition? I know that Brother Qin is participating, so I did a simple investigation. Luo Weizhuang's expression is somewhat grave. He looked at Qin Yun and said, Brother Qin, your opponents this time are very strong. I hope you can consider the overall situation and don't go all out. Qin Yun nodded and said, I know, you don't have to worry. That's good. Luo Weizhuang laughed and said, This time, the strongest opponents are the Purple Ice Holy City and the Great Desert Holy City. Each of them had 10 ninth-tier exalted immortals under them. Amongst them, Grand Desert City's 9th Ascendant Immortal was the strongest. Purple Ice City's 9th Heaven Exalted Immortal is slightly weaker. Why are Purple Ice Holy City's 9th Heaven Exalted Immortals slightly weaker? Shimen Dezhuang placed Pippi on the table and let it eat some pastries. The Mystic Immortal Desert restricts the movement of Mystic Immortals. That's why the Mystic Immortals summoned by the Great Desert Holy City are the strongest, Luo Weizhuang said. And the Purple Ice Mountain Range where the Purple Ice Sacred City is located is a sacred land of the Xian Immortal level. They pay more attention to the Xian Immortal. Old Fox Huang looked at Shimen Dezhuang and said with a smile, Dezhuang, it seems your Shimen clan has also sent a few youngsters. How is their strength? Well, the 9th Heaven Celestial of the Shimen family is definitely very strong, but I support Uncle. Shimen Dezhuang looked at Qin Yun and said with smile, Uncle, even if you lose to my Shimen family, don't be sad, I will help you teach them a lesson in the future. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Dezhuang, do you think I can't defeat your Shimen family's 9th Heaven Celestial? Shimen Dezhuang nodded his head. Uncle, although I admire you very much, my Shimen family has a very powerful secret technique. They refine their bodies like magic treasures and immortal tools. They carve many runes on their bodies and can combine them into very powerful abilities. Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang looked at each other in amazement. Carving runes on their bodies and combining them into a kind of ability, isn't that the same as inscription beasts? The people who came this time grew up together with inscription beasts. Through the inscription beasts, they have mastered many inscription powers. They are called inscription warriors. Their bodies have many runes and totems carved into their bones and soul. Shimen Dezhuang said with a serious expression, They are not inscription masters, but the runes on their bodies can evolve on their own and even strengthen their bodies. This caused Qin Yun and Luo Weizhuang to be amazed and exclaim in admiration. Shimen Dezhuang laughed and said, As for me, although I am not made to become an inscription warrior, my talent in inscription is the highest in the history of the Shimen family. Moreover, I am also the most handsome person in the history of the Shimen family. Ha ha ha, those inscription warriors are all very ashamed in front of me. Bragging Shimen, it is not easy for you to live in Shimen family for so long. If you were in my Luo family, you would have already been beaten to death, Luo Weizhuang said with smile. Old Luo, I know you are jealous of me. Shiman Dazhuang very shamelessly stroked his hair, then hugged Pippi Pig and said, "I will go back and gather some information, then I will come back and report to Uncle." "Dazhuang, don't speak nonsense. Uncle Mast is here, you will bring trouble to him," Old Fox Huang warned with smile. I know. I, Shiman Dazhuang, am not a 3-year-old child. Whatever you can think of, I can also think of." Shiman Dazhuang waved his hand with smile, then swaggered out as if he is asking for a beating. Shiman Dazhuang and Pippi Pig can walk sideways in Great Desert Sacred City. Everyone knows that his farting pig is very dreadful. If Pippi Pig farts him, he won't be able to do anything to Shiman Dazhuang. After all, he won't be seriously injured. Old Fox Huang said, "Qin, Shao and Qi family are all inscription aristocratic families, they must also have inscription warriors. We must pay more attention. As for those people from Sacred Desolate, they are not that dreadful." Qin Yun came into contact with the Sacred Body Sacred Spirit Immortal from Sacred Desolate, so he has some understanding of them. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Xian family's 9th stage immortals must also be careful. I have never seen or heard of any of the 9th stage immortals they sent this time. They must have been secretly nurtured by them. Luo Weizhuang said. At this time, Xianyuan Yefeng walked in, cupped his hands towards Qin Yun and Old Fox Huang and said, "Another very strong guy has come to register. Moreover, he is from some nether sect. He is a sword immortal with only one arm, his name is Xia Wufeng. He is releasing a very strong sword aura, it is very scary." After Qin Yun heard this, he abruptly stood up, he is extremely stunned. Xia Wufeng has actually appeared here, moreover, he was sent by Nether Sect. This means that his foster father, Netherworld Great Emperor, has already led many experts from Nether Sect to Immortal Desolate. What made Qin Yun depressed is that Xia Wufeng certainly doesn't remember him. Back then, Xia Wufeng made many friends in Nether Sect, they must have forgotten him. "Brother Qin, do you know this Xia Wufeng?" Xianyuan Yefeng asked. "He is very strong, very dreadful." Qin Yun laughed, he is worried that he will have to face Xia Wufeng in the end. What made him happy is that Netherworld Great Emperor's Nether Sect has arrived in Immortal Desolate, it means that Netherworld Great Emperor has enough formidable strength. Xia Wufeng is the last person to register. Nobody has heard of him before, but he has attracted the attention of many 9th stage immortals. After the registration ended, Qiao Tianxiu announced that the test will begin tomorrow morning. The goal is to filter out most of the people. Only 80 people will remain and then they will fight in group. At night, Qin Yun received news from many people. Little Black Donkey, Xian Tiger King, Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor, Qin Long, Xie Qiru, Yang Shuriyue and many others are all his friends. Because they found out that he will be participating in the competition, they are all very worried. They don't know the situation of the Sun Elf, they also don't know that Xiao Yuelon is inside. Little Black Donkey found out that Qin Yun has 9th level upper Immortal Realm cultivation. Then he discussed with Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor and set up a very big bet. They bet on Qin Yun's victory and then let Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor arrange people to spread the news and slander Qin Yun. Who will the Sun Elf end up in the end? This is something that everyone is looking forward to. Next morning, many people woke up very early. All the participants are on the incomparably spacious battle stage. After Qin Yun arrived, other people only glanced at him a few times and did not pay much attention to him. Because they all feel that Qin Yun's cultivation is not high. Most people are paying attention to the 9th level Exalted Immortals of Immortal Family, Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, Purple Ice Sacred City and Great Desert Sacred City. Each of them has 10, making up a total of 40 people. After the test and screening, there are only 80 people left. That means these few great factions have taken up half of the participants. In addition, the 4 great inscription clans have each sent a few people. Their strength is not to be underestimated. On the battle stage, the one that most ninth-level exalted immortals are paying attention to is the one-armed sword immortal, Xie Wufeng. Xie Wufeng was the first person to arrive on the battle stage. It can be said that he has been standing here since last night. He is like a sword, steadily standing there for the whole night. Even now, his eyes are still closed. He is wearing white clothes, his hair is disheveled, his eyebrows are slightly wrinkled like swords, his handsome face is somewhat dark, his body is releasing a sharp and aloof sword aura that makes people not dare to approach him. All the ninth-level exalted immortals here are from famous sections. They are very clear that this is a very dreadful and very rare sword immortal. Suddenly, Xie Wufeng opened his eyes. His eyes flickered with cold light as if a sharp sword was unsheathed. He looked at Qin Yun, who is not far away. The people on the battle stage shivered in their hearts and retreated again and again. This kind of mental pressure is like sword energy dancing chaotically on the battle stage. Xie Wufeng glanced at Qin Yun and then closed his eyes again. Everyone is very shocked, they all feel that Qin Yun is out of luck. Boss Xie. Qin Yun secretly sighed in his heart. Just now, he was constantly sending sound transmission to Xie Wufeng. And Xie Wufeng only opened his eyes and glanced at him. Qiao Tianqu's voice came from the sun altar. The test is about to begin. First is mental power test. Elder Li will be in charge. In this test, the worst 20 people will be eliminated. After Elder Li walked on the battle stage, he took out a 10-meter wide large gong and placed it in the middle of the stage. The large gong is flickering with sacred light, there are many runes flowing on its surface. With a glance, one can tell that it is a sacred tool from Sacred Desolate. Elder Li has short white hair, bald head, thin and small body. He is wearing luxurious clothes that are lingering with golden splendor. Although he is thin and small, his voice is very clear. He said in loud voice, "Go according to the order of registration, your tokens have numbers. Number 1, come here." Qin Yun's token is 146, Xie Wufeng's is 147. Chapter 1376. Mental Power Wave. Chapter 1376. Mental Power Wave. Qin Yun walked towards Xie Wufeng and stood beside him. Then he looked at the large gong at the center of the stage. The one taking the test is a long-faced youth from Great Desert Sacred City. 1st to 10th are all 9th-layer exalted immortals from Great Desert Sacred City. That youth is about 10 meters away from the large gong. He condensed his mental power and attacked the large gong. After the large gong was hit by the mental power energy, it did not make any sound, it only shook a bit. Faint golden ripples appeared on the surface of the large gong. It looks like water ripples. From far away, it looks like the growth rings of a large tree. First, 75 circles of mental power wave. Elder Li shouted loudly. This is Sacred Desolate's mental power test. People from Immortal Desolate don't know what it means. But those 9th-layer exalted immortals from Sacred Desolate are all shocked, especially those from Purple Ice Sacred City. Their expression became grave. Yu Zuokuan said in alarm, 75 circles of mental power wave. I risked my life before, but I could only make 20-something circles. It must be known that Yu Zuokuan is not a weak 9th-layer exalted immortal, moreover he is also an inscription master. His mental power is not weak at all. Yet he only made 20-something circles. This disparity is very shocking. After hearing Yu Zuokuan's words, everyone got an idea of what mental power test means. 2nd to 10th are all 9th-layer exalted immortals from Great Desert Sacred City. The strongest is a middle-aged man, he reached 86 circles. The lowest is a woman, she reached 72 circles. None of them are weak. And next is Yu Zuokuan. Yu Zuokuan condensed his mental power, his face turned red. He suddenly shouted and attacked the large gong with his mental power. Sparse ripples slowly appeared on the surface of the large gong. There are only 27 circles. This caused everyone to burst into laughter. Compared to the 9th layer exalted immortals from Great Desert Sacred City, Yuzwakuan is simply too lacking. Yuzwakuan shouted loudly, "What are you laughing at? None of you laughing below can surpass 30. This is the disparity between our immortal desolate and sacred desolate." Old Fox Wong chuckled and said, "I guarantee that I can surpass 30. You are not human, you don't count." Yuzwakuan knows that Old Fox Wong's mental power is very strong. "I can pass 30. What about you?" A woman wearing a white rabbit mask said with a soft and pleasant voice. Everyone immediately looked over and saw that the woman is wearing a plain white dress. However, there are many runes engraved on her dress. This is the symbol of an inscription master. Moreover, this woman is also in Shiman Dazhuang's group. This person came from the Shiman clan. Moreover, she was a woman. Shiman Dazhuang laughed and said, "This is my incomparably beautiful eldest cousin, the number 1 beauty of the Shiman family, Shiman Chuqian. She is a very talented female inscription master of our Shiman family, only a little bit inferior to me." Shiman Chuqian gently stepped on Shiman Dazhuang's foot and said, "I am the most talented female inscription master in the Shiman family. Dazhuang, don't talk nonsense." "Ha ha, a good man doesn't fight with a woman. I'll let you have it." Shiman Dazhuang laughed. Yuzwakuan looked at Shiman Chuqian and said, "Your Shiman family's inscription technique is indeed brilliant, but your mental power is definitely incomparable to the experts from the Sacred Desolate. If you can surpass them, I will do whatever you want me to do. If you lose, give me your Yu family's Vigor God totem. Do you dare to come?" Qiao Tianshu did not stop Yuzwakuan because they knew that if Yuzwakuan obtained the Vigor God totem, he would definitely hand it over to their Great Desert Sacred City. Qin Yun felt that Yuzwakuan is out of luck. Shiman Chuqian is a Xian immortal. He is also very curious what kind of method did this Xian immortal use to enter the immortal Xian desert. If Dazhuang is not bragging, Shiman Chuqian is really quite awesome. Ling Yun laughed tenderly and said, "From her voice she must be very beautiful." "Not necessarily, she is wearing a mask, maybe she is ugly?" Qin Yun looked at Shiman Chuqian, who was walking over, and said in his heart, "Don't you often wear a mask?" Ling Yun laughed mischievously and said, "Xiao Yun, you should let Dazhuang repay your kindness and accept this incomparably beautiful eldest cousin. This Shiman Chuqian must have the strange habits of the Shiman family." "I don't want it." Qin Yun has come into contact with several people from the Shiman family, and they are all abnormal. Shiman Chuqian walked over and said to Yuzwakuan with a smile, "As long as I surpass 86 laps, I can win against you, right? I promise you, let's sign a soul contract." 86 laps? You won't be able to do it even in your dreams. Come. Yuzwakuan said very proudly. Because even if he used all his strength, he could only hit 20 laps. He felt that even if a Xian immortal from the immortal desolate came, it would not exceed 50. After Shiman Chuqian and Yuzwakuan signed the soul contract, she walked towards the large gong, condensed her mental power and rushed out. What is shocking is that her mental power actually has color. It brought with it a light blue light and rushed towards the large gong. The large gong slightly trembled and actually produced a little sound. It must be known that none of the 10 great battle kings of the Great Desert Sacred City were able to hit the large gong. Yuzwakuan's expression immediately became incomparably ugly. He has been in the Great Desert Sacred City for so long, he also knows what it means to hit the large gong. Sure enough, mental power ripples appeared on the surface of the large gong and reached 105 lap. This immediately caused everyone present to be shocked. Qiao Tianshu and several other Xian immortals inside the altar are also emotionally moved. The expression of Great Desert Sacred City and Purple Ice Sacred City's 9th stage, exalted immortals, suddenly changed. They opened their eyes wide looking at this shaman family woman. What made them curious is why such a powerful woman did not sign up with other shaman family people to participate in the martial arts competition. Could it be that the 5 shaman family people who signed up are even more dreadful than this woman? Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Cien Family's 9th stage, Exalted Immortals, are now re-evaluating shaman family's strength. I still haven't used my full strength. Shaman Chuqian's sweet and gentle voice carried a trace of arrogance. Then she looked at Yuzhuakuan and said with smile, "You want me to do whatever you want me to do, right?" Shaman Chuqian still hasn't used her full strength, yet she was able to release such a powerful mental power wave. This once again caused people to be emotionally moved. Then what do you want me to do? When we sign the contract, you can't let me die, you can't let me be injured. Moreover, what I can do is within the scope of my ability. Yuzhuakuan said. As long as he doesn't die, it's fine. Shaman Chuqian looked at Shaman Dezhuang below the stage and shouted, "Dezhuang, bring your pig up here and let him eat a pig fart." Holy shit! After being startled for a moment, everyone let out a burst of exclamation. Many people have a joyful smile on their faces, they are looking forward to it. Some people have already taken out their magic mirrors to record this wonderful moment. I will die. Yuzhuakuan's face immediately turned green as he shouted loudly. It's just eating a fart, you won't die, you won't be injured. Shaman Chuqian is already shaking with laughter, everyone also laughed along with her. Shaman Dezhuang said with smile, "Yuzhuakuan, do you want to wait for the backlash of the contract?" "Brother Dezhuang, don't agree with her. I will give you 1 billion immortal jade beads." Yuzhuakuan saw Shaman Dezhuang coming up with a small pig, and quickly begged in a soft voice. Shaman Dezhuang shook his head with smile and yelled, "Quickly open your mouth. Yuzhuakuan wants to die, this is even worse than being cuckolded and crawling into crotch." He promptly took out his magic mirror and contacted his elders. After some communication, Shaman Chuqian and Yuzhuakuan's elders reached an agreement and asked for Yu family's runes and totem runes. The test continued, Yuzhuakuan no longer dared to speak carelessly. Shaman Chuqian is indeed very strong, moreover, she also obtained many runes and totem runes from Yu family. In the following test, some 9th stage immortal from Immortal Desolate can't even reach 25 laps of mental power. Of course, 9th stage immortal from Inscription aristocratic families, as well as immortal families and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, all of them can reach 60 plus, some even reached 70 plus. Especially those from Inscription aristocratic families, most of them can reach 65 plus. Some even reached 70 plus. They are not the least bit weaker than Great Desert Sacred City's 10 Battle Kings. This kind of test is deliberately arranged by Qiao Tianxiu and others to observe the strength of their opponent. This way, they will know the strength of the 9th stage immortals participating in the competition. Next, they will be able to formulate the competition rules that are beneficial to them. After Purple Ice Sacred City's 10 9th stage immortals finish the test, 4 of them can reach 65 plus, the other 6 can reach 70 plus, the highest is 80 plus, they are inferior to Great Desert Sacred City's 10 Battle Kings. After Qiao Tianxiu saw the strength of Purple Ice Sacred City's immortals, he felt a lot more relieved. And now it is Qin Yun's turn. Qin Yun once competed with Yuzhuakuan in inscription competition and even defeated him, making Yuzhuakuan crawl into his crotch. This is also known by everyone, so everyone thinks that his mental power is not weak. Earlier, he secretly sent voice transmission to Old Fox Huang, discussing whether or not he should hide part of his strength or display his strongest strength. The advice that Old Fox Huang gave him was that he just had to follow the rules and pass this test. If his performance was too strong, he would definitely be given special treatment by the rules of the Great Desert Holy City. Qin Yun walked over and released his mental power to bombard the large gong. The mental power wave that appeared only reached 45 laps. Although it is far from those 60 or 70 laps, it still surprised many people. This is much more powerful than those 20 or 30 laps. Yu Zuoquan gritted his teeth, looked at Qin Yun and said with low groan, "So what if it's 45 laps? If your strength is low, you won't be able to enter top 8. Seeing that Qin Yun's mental power is not high, Xiao Tianxu let out a long sigh of relief. It is the same for Great Desert Sacred Cities people. And the last to be tested is Xie Wufeng. Xie Wufeng opened his eyes and walked over. Suddenly a black sword condensed in front of him. It is formed from mental power. This immediately shocked everyone present. Xiao Tianxu, who was inside the altar, suddenly shouted, "You passed the test." However, the sword condensed by Xie Wufeng still flew out. Boom! The large gong suddenly exploded, a hole was pierced through it. Mental power transformed into a sword and pierced through the sacred tool used for the test. Such powerful mental power caused everyone around the battle stage to be dumbstruck. Qin Yun is not surprised at all, only he knows Xie Wufeng's strength. Purple Ice Sacred City and Great Desert Sacred City's 9th stage, Exalted Immortal's eyes are filled with fear as they looked at the expressionless Xie Wufeng. The test is over, next we will announce the list of top 80. Xiao Tianxu shouted. Everyone regained their senses and burst into an uproar. What? Didn't they say 20 people would be eliminated? How come they are in top 80 now? More than 140 people, almost half of them have been eliminated. Someone said in dissatisfaction. Everyone, you also saw that we damaged a sacred tool. If we continue the test, our sacred tools will continue to be destroyed. Xiao Tianxu said, "Please understand." Chapter 1377 1377 Chapter 1377 Strongest Arena Lord Xiao Tianxu did not set any specific rules from the beginning. This is also to make it easier for them to operate. This is something that all the major powers can see. As long as Xiao Tianxu does not cheat, they will not say anything. Soon, it was determined that the top 80 people would be divided into 8 groups. Qin Yun smoothly entered top 80, and the groups are not decided by drawing lots, they are decided by Great Desert Sacred City. This gives them a lot of room to maneuver. Very soon, the groups came out. After the groups were announced, everyone burst into an uproar. Qin Yun is in the 7th group. In this group, most of the people have the weakest mental power wave. Those with 30 to 40 mental power wave are in this group. In this group, there is a 9th stage Ascendant Immortal from Great Desert Sacred City. He is the middle-aged man with 86 rings mental power wave. His name is Su Deli. Everyone can see that Great Desert Sacred City's arrangement is to let Su Deli enter top 8 unscathed. Xie Wufeng is in the 8th group. In this 8th group, there are 3 from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, 3 from Immortals and 3 from Purple Ice Sacred City. This is the strongest group. The result can be imagined, it will be very miserable. The reason for that was so that Xie Wufeng, who was very strong, could kill off the formidable 9th level Ascendant Immortals. That way, Xie Wufeng's strength would be exhausted as well. Great Desert Sacred City's 10 Battle Kings are divided into 5 groups. Qin Yun's group only has 1 from Great Desert Sacred City. If Great Desert Sacred City can enter top 5, they won't need to give so many core fragments. Many major powers are very dissatisfied with this kind of grouping and want to use the method of drawing lots to decide. Xiao Tianxu does not agree, he said with sneer. Only weaklings complain about unfair grouping. Look at Xie Wufeng, he did not say a single word. This is the demeanor of a strong expert. The 7th group is the weakling group. Su Deli's mental power wave reached 86 rings. He will definitely get first place. Indeed, this is not fair at all. If only I was in the 7th group. You are in the 7th group, can you beat Su Deli? The 8th group is the most dreadful. This sword immortal Xie Wufeng will definitely get first place. The inscription family people are divided into groups 1 to 6. Qin Yun is glad that he listened to old Fox Huang's words. If he displayed a very powerful mental power wave, he would definitely be assigned to Xie Wufeng's group. The 9th tier exalted immortals in that group were the ones with the highest psychic power, excluding those from Grand Desert Sacred City. In this group, Qin Yun only needs to face Su Deli. In order to not waste everyone's precious time, we're using the defending method. Everyone can only fight once, starting from the 8th group. Qiao Tianshu said, I appoint Xie Wufeng as the ringmaster of the 8th group. It was actually a defending method. This meant that it would be very complicated. If they worked together in the team, getting first place wouldn't be a problem at all. There was only one battle platform, so they had to come in groups. Everyone else walked down the platform, leaving only Xie Wufeng on it. The people from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, Xian Family and Purple Ice Sacred City, had all paid a registration fee of 1 billion. They all had to go up and fight seriously, otherwise they wouldn't be able to explain themselves to the higher-ups. Even if they had to face the powerful Xie Wufeng, they still had to give it a try. Sword Immortal? Perhaps it was just his powerful mental strength. He lost an arm. He should be easy to deal with, right? A middle-aged man from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate jumped up. After the barrier around the battle platform opened, the middle-aged man from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate shouted and rushed over. A black sword suddenly appeared in Xie Wufeng's hand. It is carved with sword totems. Seeing those sword totems, the people from the Inscription Aristocrat clan opened their eyes wide. They are secretly astonished. Those are the sword totems carved by Qin Yun, but now they have evolved to become even stronger. Sword immortals have origin swords. They have absolute superiority on the battle platform. The battle platform is very wide. It looks like a very large plaza. After the 9th tier exalted immortal from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate jumped up, he arrived in front of Xie Wufeng in the blink of an eye. His fist released dense evil devil baleful aura and attacked Xie Wufeng's head. Xie Wufeng suddenly disappeared. The middle-aged man from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate hit empty air. Cold light suddenly flashed. The middle-aged man's head was pierced by a black sword. The black sword can actually flicker with cold light. It is very strange. This kind of light is like the light of death. Hua! The sword pierced through the middle-aged man's head. A large amount of black blood floated out. It is as if it is drawing out the black blood. In the blink of an eye, all the black blood inside the middle-aged man's body has been drawn out. Shwa shwa shwa. Xie Wufeng suddenly appeared. He held the sword and slashed at the middle-aged man several times, chopping him into pieces. Dead. The middle-aged man from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate is not weak. He was actually killed in an instant. Xie Wufeng's strength caused Qiao Tianshu to be secretly worried that Xie Wufeng would snatch first place. They really did not expect that such a powerful sword immortal would suddenly appear. 8th group, 1 person eliminated. There are 8 people left. Please continue to challenge Xie Wufeng. Qiao Tianshu shouted. No one went up. Because the middle-aged man who just died, his strength is more or less the same as the other people in the 8th group, they won't be any better off if they go up. They all used their devil mirrors to contact the powers behind them and explain the situation to see if they can give up or not. The powers behind them will not allow them to give up. However, they are all very afraid of death. After all, it is not easy to cultivate to 9th stage upper immortal. Moreover, this is the great era. As long as there is a fortuitous opportunity, their cultivation will advance by leaps and bounds. It is even possible for them to become immortal kings. Therefore, they all disobeyed the order and did not go up to challenge. They all gave up. 8th group, Xie Wufeng is the arena master. He entered top 8. Qiao Tianshu shouted. He is very unhappy in his heart. Xie Wufeng did not consume much of his power, and the other three factions' people also did not suffer many casualties. Next is the seventh group. The arena master is Qin Yun. Qiao Tianxu's voice caused everyone to cry out in alarm. Everyone knows that Qin Yun was appointed as the arena master to deliberately let him go up and be beaten. Qiao Tianxu said again, "Qin Yun, please go up and defend the arena. You can also forfeit." Qin Yun naturally won't forfeit. After the barrier closed, he jumped onto the stage. Xie Wufeng also quickly walked down. "De Zhuang, you said before that you would introduce me to Qin Yun as his little wife. What's so special about him?" Shimen Chuqian asked. "You always randomly introduce me to others, you don't even ask if I'm willing or not. Big cousin, this Qin Yun is very powerful. If you become his little wife, you won't lose out at all. On the contrary, you will even gain a lot." Shimen Dezhuang laughed and said, "This guy is very afraid of his big wife. I wanted to bring him to see you, but he didn't dare to go. Moreover, he said that he has no interest in you at all." Shimen Chuqian did not say anything because she is already used to Shimen Dezhuang. He often secretly betrayed her. "Big cousin, look at old Fox Huang, he is Qin Yun's follower." Shimen Dezhuang said again, "Don't look down on Qin Yun, this guy is very secretive. I am sure that he will be able to successfully defend the arena. This guy's mental power wave is only 45 circles, right? If he can successfully defend and enter top 8, I will be his little wife." Shimen Chuqian giggled and said, "De Zhuang, if he can't defend, give me Pippi Pig." Pippi Pig, who had turned into a small pig, immediately grunted a few times and quickly shrank into Shimen Dezhuang's embrace. It seems to be very afraid of Shimen Chuqian. "Alright." Shimen Dezhuang nodded and said with a smile, "Qin Yun is my benefactor. I promised him that I would give you to him. You bastard, I don't know how many times you have sent me out. Not once have you succeeded." Shimen Chuqian laughed tenderly and said, "This time you will definitely not succeed. Big cousin, I wanted to knock you out. Now, after we sign the soul contract, you will be Qin Yun's little wife." "Ha ha." Shimen Dezhuang laughed and said. The conversation between the siblings was heard by many people. When everyone looked over, they saw that they were indeed signing a soul contract. They are actually serious. In everyone's eyes, Qin Yun defending the arena is a joke. Yuzhuakuan cannot enter the top 80. He can only watch from below. Qin Yun stood in the middle of the battle platform, his expression indifferent as he waited. Great desert sacred cities, Su Deli laughed and jumped up. Su Deli's appearance is relatively ordinary, his body is tall and sturdy, his face is full of confidence. He is the strongest in the weakling group. Everyone felt that even if the other 9 people went up, they would not be able to fight against Su Deli. Other than Xie Wufeng, Su Deli has the highest mental power wave. As for Xie Wufeng's mental power wave, no one knows. Below the battle platform, many people from the major powers saw Su Deli's face full of laughter and felt very unhappy. Shimen Dezhuang laughed loudly and shouted, "Qin Yun, as long as you win against that stupid big guy, my incomparably beautiful big cousin will be your little wife. She has signed a soul contract with you. You must work hard and seize this opportunity." This immediately caused everyone to burst into laughter. Shimen Chuqian shook her head because she felt that Qin Yun has no chance of winning. Yu Zhuakuan said, "Miss Chuqian is incomparably beautiful, strong and talented." She already knew that Qin Yun would not be able to defend the arena successfully, that's why she agreed to sign the soul contract. On the battle platform, Su Deli laughed loudly and said, "Miss Chuqian, don't worry, you will definitely not marry this little weakling. I will turn him into a meat patty on the spot. If I kill him, will you marry me? I'd rather marry Qin Yun than marry a stupid big guy like you. Do you see how handsome Qin Yun is? I like men with this kind of face type." Shimen Chuqian chuckled and said, Even if Qin Yun is beaten into a meat patty, he will still be a very good-looking meat patty. This caused Su Deli to immediately become furious. He looked at Qin Yun and shouted, "I will smash your stinky face." Qin Yun cursed Shimen Dezhuang in his heart for causing trouble for him. If it wasn't for the fact that he had no other choice, he definitely wouldn't want to win against Su Deli. Because if he won against Su Deli, he would be pestered by Shimen Dezhuang to hand over his big cousin sister. "Hurry up and smash my face." Qin Yun smiled indifferently. "Don't waste time," Su Deli said angrily. "You're about to die and you're still smiling? Be serious for me." After the barrier opened, Su Deli is like a mad bull. His entire body surged with fiery red anger. He roared loudly and charged at Qin Yun. Chapter 1378. Demonstrate one's strength. Qin Yun took a deep breath and said in his heart, "Yuner, a formidable enemy is coming. Just in time to test your current strength." Ling Yuner said. Boom. When Su Deli flew over, the nether sun fiercely erupted with supergravity. The supergravity released by Qin Yun's ninth firmament exalted immortal cultivation suddenly smashed onto Su Deli's body. Su Deli, who was rushing over, suddenly felt his body being pressed down by something heavy. As expected of the strongest ninth-tier ascendant immortal of Grand Desert Holy City, he immediately burst forth with even greater power. Due to that, he did not fall to the ground. However, he felt that his body had suddenly become extremely heavy. As he sprinted forward, his heavy footsteps caused the stage to rumble. Everyone thought that it was because Su Deli had erupted with a very strong power, which was why the contest ring was shaking non-stop. However, they did not know that it was because Su Deli was enduring a gravity that was several times heavier than before. Qin Yun moved and suddenly appeared behind Su Deli. But Su Deli's sudden explosive punch missed and hit the ground, exploding with a fiery red flash. Qin Yun arrived behind Su Deli, then pressed his two fingers together and unleashed Piercing Mountain and Splitting Earth Finger. The little lion that is revolving around the nether sun let out a deep roar. The finger power is accompanied by the heavenly Tao's ferocious aura. Only Su Deli could feel the ferocious aura, and he was secretly shocked. Bang! Qin Yun's finger strike landed on Su Deli's head, creating an incomparably violent astral wind. A small hole appeared in Su Deli's head as blood flowed out. Tens of thousands of people cried out in surprise. Su Deli's head was pierced through. Qin Yun's strength was not as weak as everyone imagined. Instead, he was very strong. Su Deli was also very strong. His body's defense shocked Qin Yun. Being hit in the head by such a powerful Piercing Mountain Splitting Earth Finger would only result in bleeding. His head would not explode. He's a ninth-layer ascendant immortal. Su Deli let out a furious roar, and a fiery gale erupted from his body, shaking off the supergravity on his body. Everyone knows that Qin Yun was nearly killed by the Sun Altar. Back then, he had only been an ascendant immortal. It hadn't been that long since then. And yet, he was already a ninth-layer ascendant immortal. Thunderous cheers erupted around the fighting ring. Qiao Tianxiu immediately cursed in a low voice. "I was too careless. This fellow Qin Yun is truly unfathomable. The one who feels the most uncomfortable is Yuzhuakuan." Back then, Qin Yun was just a minor immortal in his eyes. But now, he is a ninth firmament exalted immortal. Die. Su Deli's body suddenly swelled up. His skin turned red like a piece of red-hot iron. His eyes spewed flames of anger as he attacked Qin Yun. Sizzle! The two beams of red light shot out from Su Deli's eyes suddenly turned into two bolts of lightning. Qin Yun dodged and charged over again. He released supergravity to suppress Su Deli and slow his movement. The lightning shot out from Su Deli's eyes was very strange. When it touched the ground, it actually bounced back. Furthermore, the speed at which it rebounded was very fast as it charged towards Qin Yun's back. Qin Yun thought that after he dodged the lightning, the two lightning bolts would explode when they hit the ground. He never expected them to rebound so fiercely. Ah! He let out a painful scream. The power within his body seems to have been blocked by something, and he is unable to release it. Su Deli laughed nastily and rushed over and shouted, "You are finished!" In the blink of an eye, Su Deli arrived beside Qin Yun. His basin-sized fist brought along a firm and fierce flame as it charged towards Qin Yun's face. Boom! Qin Yun's face was hit and burst into fiery red sparks. His body was also sent flying, his head is burning with flames. Ha! Miss Chu Qian, look at his face, I must have smashed it. Su Deli laughed proudly and rushed towards Qin Yun, who was sent flying to the edge of the battle stage. Shimin Chu Qian is now seriously looking at the battle stage. She suddenly felt that Qin Yun is not simple. Because Qin Yun suffered a punch just now, his injury is not too serious. When Su Deli rushed over, Qin Yun, who was lying on the ground, suddenly flipped over and jumped up, dodging Su Deli's powerful stomp. The entire battle stage trembled from Su Deli's stomp. Qin Yun's face is completely fine, it is just a bit red. Too careless. This guy's lightning is very strange. He must have sacred eye or something, Qin Yun said in his heart. Fortunately, he was able to absorb the strange lightning into his nether sun, otherwise he would not be able to use any power. Su Deli is very amazed to see that Qin Yun can break free from his lightning. The people below the fighting ring were watching quietly at this moment. Because Qin Yun's strength is very strong, he can stand shoulder to shoulder with Su Deli. If Qin Yun can defeat Su Deli, he will be the strongest in the weakling group and will be able to enter top 8. Eldest cousin sister, you will become his little wife, Shimin Dezhuang said with grin. Shimin Chu Qian did not say anything. If Qin Yun wins, she and Shimin Dezhuang signed a soul contract, she will become Qin Yun's little wife. Su Deli's eyes suddenly shot out lightning continuously. On the battle stage, many strange lightning jumped and bounced, filling more than half of the stage in a short while. That is sacred eye. The power released by the lightning is like a chain, it can imprison a person's body, it can imprison all kinds of power. Shimin Chu Qian said in grave voice, that lightning seems to have runes. Su Deli's sacred pupil has evolved into runes. Everyone was amazed when they heard this. Someone said, as the lightning increases, it will be difficult to avoid them. They will definitely be hit and they will definitely lose. Shimin Chu Qian nodded and said, that's right. If it were me, I might have to expend a lot of effort to break through this lightning attack. The battle platform was huge and Qin Yun constantly retreated to dodge. However, more and more lightning bolts shot out of Su Deli's eyes. It didn't take long for the barrier of the entire fighting ring to spread out. It would be filled with that strange kind of lightning jumping around, bouncing around. The strange lightning was very active. After colliding with the ground or the barrier, it would quickly jump. Yuner, can you devour that much lightning? Asked Qin Yun. You can't, your body needs to come in contact with lightning to slowly devour the nether sun. Xiao Yun, use the tree totem to release tree vines. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun immediately did as he was told. Suddenly, many pale golden tree vines emerged from the ground. After those tree vines appeared, they were wrapped up by many lightning bolts. Qin Yun controlled the tree vines and randomly danced on the battle platform. In a short while, he attracted a large amount of lightning bolt. Seeing Qin Yun use this kind of technique, everyone is very surprised. Many people looked at Shimin Chu Qian, who is wearing the rabbit mask. Qin Yun has a tree totem inside his body, moreover it is an immortal tier tree totem. Those tree vines are the ability of a tree. He must have comprehended a tree totem cultivation method. Shimin Chu Qian said. After everyone heard this, They all nodded in understanding and praised her for being knowledgeable. "I will burn all of you! Su Deli is very angry." He let out a loud roar and spewed out a large amount of red flame from his mouth. It is filled with dense saint power, and in the blink of an eye, a large amount of tree vines were burned. "Xiao Yun, take advantage of this moment!" Ling Yun shouted. Qin Yun immediately rushed over. "He is inside the flame, he is not affected at all." Ling Yun released her strongest supergravity, causing Su Deli's knees to bend. With a plop, he knelt on the ground. And when Qin Yun rushed over, he saw a black moon suddenly appear in the sky. Mind transformed into nether moon? Shimen Chuqian involuntarily cried out in alarm. Her body slightly trembled. The people of Immortal Desolate can clearly see what this nether moon that is releasing powerful mental power signifies. Mind transforming into nether moon, this is a very rare mental power cultivation. After Qiao Tianxiu and a few Xian immortals saw this from the altar, they are all dumbfounded and stunned. Old Fox Huang has a smile on his face. He is not the least bit surprised. Nether Moon suddenly shot down a black lightning. Qin Yun used his strongest mental power attack and hit Su Deli's head. "Ah!" Su Deli screamed miserably after being hit. This is an incomparably powerful mental power attack. Moreover, Qin Yun has also cultivated the one-thought Imperial Heaven Art, a divine cultivation technique, so his mental power has become even more terrifying. In a short while, Su Deli's mind became chaotic. Qin Yun jumped over and slapped down with his palm. Angry Dragon's lament and Heavenly Lion's angry roar resounded simultaneously. It is Heavenly Lion Extinction Dragon Palm. Boom boom boom. The palm fell, tearing apart the space and producing bursts of explosive sounds. The most terrifying thing is the Black Heavenly Might Dao Dipper. The Heavenly Dao's Heavenly Lion's Heavenly Dao Ferocious Aura and Dragon's Heavenly Dao Arrogant Aura fuse together. Together with the Heavenly Might Dao Dipper, Qin Yun unleashed the most terrifying Heavenly Lion Extinction Dragon Palm in history. "Ah!" Su Deli screamed miserably as if he wants to tear apart the sky dome. His head has also been split open. The power of the palm penetrated the battle stage's barrier and spread out in all directions, causing a large number of people to retreat. Even Xie Wufeng had to summon his origin sword to block in front of him to stand still. As for Xian Immortal Shimen Chuqian and Old Fox Huang, they can also stand still. They are extremely shocked in their hearts. Die. Qin Yun's palm is still on Su Deli's head. A fierce shockwave rushed out, bringing with it the Heavenly Dao Flame's violent power. A large area of flame seems like it can destroy the world. It transformed into a furious dragon and poured into Su Deli's body. Hoo hoo hoo! The ferocious flame is like a monstrous wave, sweeping across the entire battle stage in a flash. It looks like the fire of the sun. Su Deli. Qiao Tianxiu's angry shout is also filled with extreme shock. Qin Yun's flame covered the battle stage. No one can see what is happening inside. Qin Yun took advantage of the chaos to devour Su Deli's sacred pupil. Rumble! Rumble! The battle stage rumbled unceasingly. Qin Yun repeatedly struck with his palm and secretly released the black nether sun flame to destroy Su Deli's sacred body. Everyone is dumbfounded as they looked at the burning battle stage. The battle between Ninth Firmament Exalted Immortals is as powerful as the battle between Xian Immortals. Many Ninth Firmament Exalted Immortals shivered. Qin Yun's strength is extremely terrifying. Whoosh! The ferocious flame on the battle stage seems to have a mind of its own. In just a few seconds, it entered Qin Yun's body. Only Qin Yun is left on the battle stage. Su Deli has disappeared. Su Deli is dead, not even his ashes are left. Chapter 1379. Sacred Tool Battle. Chapter 1379. Battle Great Desert Sacred City's strongest 9th-level Ascendant Immortal, He thought that he could easily get first place in the weakling group. But now, he has been completely annihilated. The spectators below the battle stage found it hard to believe, especially the disciples of Great Desert Sacred City. They know very well how strong Su Deli is, yet he died so thoroughly. The 9th-level Ascendant Immortals of the other major powers are secretly happy to see Su Deli die. But they are even more worried. The main reason is that Qin Yun is too strong. Xie Wufeng already gave them a lot of pressure. Now that Qin Yun has joined the fray, it will be even more difficult for them to get first place. Those 9th-level Ascendant Immortals secretly hope that the next fight will be between Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng, that both of them will be seriously injured. Su Deli's death has enraged all the upper echelons of Great Desert Sacred City. They want to kill Qin Yun, but they don't dare to. Moreover, they may not be able to kill Qin Yun because Old Fox Wang is here. Moreover, the other major powers are also watching. If they kill the winner, what will the others think? Now they can only endure and plan to take revenge in the next fight. Qin Yun stood on the battle stage and shouted, "Who else wants to challenge me? Don't waste time, hurry up and come up." Most of the 9th-level Ascendant Immortals in Qin Yun's group are very weak. The only ones who can fight are Qin Yun and Su Deli. Now that Su Deli has been killed by Qin Yun, no matter how much courage they have, they don't dare to go up. Others have given up one after another. What makes them feel better is that Su Deli has been killed. They won't be laughed at if they give up. Moreover, they were originally very dissatisfied with Great Desert Sacred City's arrangement of Su Deli to bully noobs here. Now that Su Deli has been killed, these rookies feel very satisfied. Qin Yun walked down the battle stage. Next is the 6th group. Qin Yun is also very interested in the 6th group because there are people from Shiman family and other inscription families in this group. He can see what kind of inscription abilities they have mastered. After Qin Yun came down, Shiman Dezhuang ran over while laughing. He pulled Qin Yun's arm and walked towards Shiman Chuqian. "Cousin, I helped you find such a strong man. Aren't you going to thank me?" Shiman Dezhuang laughed. Qin Yun shook off Shiman Dezhuang and immediately glanced at the rabbit-masked Shiman Chuqian. He curled his lips and said, "I don't want her." Everyone was very shocked. The #1 beauty of Shiman clan, with such powerful spirit power, was actually being despised by someone. Qin Yun's mental power is definitely not weak. To be able to cultivate his mental power to the Nether Moon transformation realm is extremely heaven-defying. She had the right to despise Shiman Chuqian. Others only think that the Nether Moon Qin Yun released is a mental power spirit. However, Shiman Chuqian can tell that it is a real Nether Moon. It is impossible to cultivate it. The only way is to find a Nether Moon in the natural world and subdue it. Qin Yun's mental Nether Moon was obtained from the Nether Moon Desolate Domain. It can give him very strong mental power. Shiman Chuqian immediately walked towards Qin Yun and held his arm. She said with a charming smile, "Husband, I have already signed a soul contract with Dezhuang. I will definitely be your concubine. Otherwise, I will die." Qin Yun retracted his hand. He is very frightened. He is very clear that Shiman Chuqian must have some other purpose for throwing herself at him so eagerly. He immediately flashed to Old Fox Wang and said in a low voice, "Old Fox, help me block her." Shiman Chuqian stomped her feet in anger. She never expected that a man would actually reject her. "Big cousin, this guy has a very fierce wife, so he temporarily doesn't dare to accept you." Shiman Dezhuang chuckled and said, "I already said that he is very afraid of his wife." Shiman Chuqian lightly snorted, and wanted to charge towards Qin Yun, but she was stopped by Old Fox Wang. "Husband, aren't you making things difficult for me? I am doing this to fulfill the soul contract. If you don't accept me, I will die." Shiman Chuqian said coquettishly, "Quickly let me hug you." Qin Yun knows that there are not many normal people in the Shiman family. He immediately shouted at Shiman Dezhuang, Dezhuang quickly removed the soul contract with her. I don't want any concubine. I have too many concubines, I don't even remember how many I have. Shimin Dezhuang laughed and said, Brother-in-law, I said that I would repay you for saving my life. Regarding the matter of matchmaking you and big cousin, my words carry enormous weight, I will do as I say. Besides, my Shimin family will definitely agree to this marriage. Whoever doesn't agree, I will use Pippi Pig to kill them. Shimin Chuqian giggled and said, Husband, come. You are so tired from the battle just now, go take a bath or something. I will accompany you and use a secret technique to massage you so that you can recover to your peak. When everyone heard this, their imaginations immediately began to run wild, their minds filled with erotic scenes. Although Shimin Chuqian is wearing a mask, her voice is very soft and charming. She is definitely a very coquettish and charming woman. Qin Yun knows that there is a big problem with Shimin Dezhuang's aesthetics. Shimin family's #1 beauty is definitely not good, maybe she is a big hole, otherwise she would not wear a mask. Wait until I see my first wife, if she agrees, then do as you wish. Qin Yun said. He plans to let Xiao Yuelan drive away Shimin Chuqian, this is a brilliant plan. Brother-in-law, where is your first wife? Shimin Dezhuang promptly asked. Wait until I get first place, she will appear. Qin Yun said with smile. He is speaking the truth, after getting first place, Xiao Yuelan will not need to be together with the Sun Elf. Shimin Chuqian said with gentle smile. Husband, no matter what, my body and heart are yours. She is mainly curious about Qin Yun's nether moon. Furthermore, she can see that Qin Yun has mastered many totem runes. In her eyes, Qin Yun is simply a great treasure. She cannot go over now because old Fox Huang is protecting Qin Yun, she doesn't dare to act recklessly. The 6th group battle has begun. The one defending the stage is Shimin family's 9th stage, Exalted Immortal. His name is Shimin Failong. Everyone is watching, now someone discovered that Qin Yun's information cannot be sent to the magic mirror. Qin Yun's nether moon is very astonishing, it is enough to shake the entire immortal desolate, but it cannot be sent to the magic mirror. Even if it is sent to someone else, it is also not possible. While everyone is feeling puzzled, they suddenly recalled that Qin Yun is Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror's brilliant disciple. They suddenly realized that Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror has specially sealed it. What they don't know is that Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is Qin Yun's brilliant disciple. Ling Yuner said with charming smile, Xiao Yun, take Shimin Chuqian. Isn't your inscription gate lacking inscription masters? Your inscription gate can recruit many beautiful female inscription masters. The battle on the stage is very intense. Everyone can now see how powerful the inscription warriors of Shimin family are. When they are attacking, they can see that their energy contains many runes. Qin Yun is watching with frown. He discovered that the inscription warriors of Shimin family are very strong. This caused him to be somewhat worried. If he runs into them, even if he goes all out, he might not be able to defeat them. The 9th stage, Exalted Immortals of Great Desert Sacred City and Purple Ice Sacred City, also have grave expression. Apart from Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng, the 9th stage, Exalted Immortals of Shimin family are also very strong. Many people from the Immortal Desolate suddenly felt that the 9th layer Exalted Immortals of the Immortal Desolate were also very strong. Qin Yun, Xie Wufeng and Shimin Failong were all very strong 9th layer Exalted Immortals. They could easily defeat most of the 9th layer Exalted Immortals of the Sacred Desolate. Very soon, the other groups have also decided their first place. Qin Yun, Xie Wufeng and Shimin Failong only fought one match and the others forfeited. As for the other 5 groups, they all fought many matches. Among the other 5 groups, 2 of them are from Great Desert Sacred City. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, Purple Ice Sacred City and Xian family each have 1 spot. Among the top 8, Great Desert Sacred City did not occupy 5 spots, They only obtained 2 spots. This is something that Xiao Tianxiu did not expect. The following battles between the 8 of them were also very exciting. Everyone thinks that the following matches will be arranged by Xiao Tianxiu again. That way, Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng, who are very strong, will be arranged to fight together. If both sides suffer, it will be very beneficial to Great Desert Sacred City. Xiao Tianxiu loudly said. In order to save time, everyone should first rest for half an hour. Next, I will arrange your opponents. First match, Qin Yun and Immortal Senior Lien. Qin Yun's opponent is not Xie Wufeng but Xian family. This caused many people to be surprised. Second match, Xie Wufeng and Lu Yeming. Xie Wufeng's match with Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate is not with Shimin Feilong. Third match, Shimin Feilong and Wang Tianling. Shimin Feilong's opponent is actually Great Desert Sacred City's Wang Tianling. Fourth match, Li Xuanlu and Bai Shuangyan. Li Xuanlu is from Great Desert Sacred City, and Bai Shuangyan is from Purple Ice Sacred City. This kind of arrangement caused many people to be unable to understand. Because Xiao Tianxiu actually arranged for his own disciple to fight against the very strong Shimin Feilong and not against the weaker Lu Yeming and Immortal Senior Lien. Soon after, Xiao Tianxiu said, in order to increase the viewing pleasure, the following matches can use weapons and defensive equipment. As for talismans and talisman tools, they are still prohibited. To actually be able to use weapons and defensive equipment, this caused the people present to whisper to each other and discuss. This is truly unexpected. Many people are cursing Xiao Tianxiu because Xiao Tianxiu will definitely let his people use the strongest Saint-tier equipment. Even the Shimin family doesn't have Saint-tier equipment. The Immortal family and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate do have them, but they are very few. They definitely wouldn't let a 9th stage Upper Immortal carry them. Purple Ice Sacred City has many Saint tools, but they didn't let their disciples bring them over. Because everyone thinks that in battle, equipment is definitely not allowed to be used. In this way, the chances of the 2 disciples of Great Desert Sacred City winning has greatly increased. Even if they fight against the Shimin family, they have a high chance of winning. Great Desert Sacred City is truly despicable. Shimin Chuqian cursed in a low voice. Their saint tools are all from Sacred Desolate. How can our Immortal Desolate's strongest immortal tools compare to them? Is Brother Feilong going to lose for sure? Shimin Dezhuang sighed and said, don't worry, brother-in-law will definitely win. Brother-in-law should have a lot of good things in his hands. Chapter 1380. Equipment War. Chapter 1380. Many people are puzzled by Xiao Tianxiu's arrangement. Xiao Tianxiu's 2 disciples are facing Shimin Feilong and Bai Shuangyan. One is from the Shimin family and the other is from the Purple Ice Sacred City. Even if the disciples of the Great Desert Sacred City have powerful sacred tools, Xiao Tianxiu should not have arranged for these 2 powerful opponents for his own disciples. Shimin Chuqian said, among the 8, the weakest are Immortal Elder Lien and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates Lu Yeming. Xiao Tianxiu did not arrange for his own disciples to fight them because the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Xian family are very close to the Great Desert Sacred City and have an extremely good relationship. Xiao Tianxiu is also worried that his own disciples will accidentally kill someone and anger the Xian family and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. When everyone heard this, they all nodded in agreement. Because the Xian family and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate are very powerful forces in the Immortal Desolate. Shimin Chuqian said again. Also, if Qin Yun kills Immortal Elder Lien, he will also anger the Xian family. At that time, the Great Desert Sacred City will be able to join hands with the Xian family to deal with Qin Yun. Old Fox Huang said with a smile. The disciples of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate must have some very evil methods. In order to win, if they use it, Even if the disciples of the great desert sacred city have sacred tools, they would still have to be on guard. That's why Qiao Tianshu arranged for Lu Yeming, a disciple of the devil immortal heavenly gate, to fight against Xie Wufeng. Everyone understood that Qiao Tianshu's arrangement was also carefully thought out. If their own disciples were to lose against Shimen Feilong and Bai Shuangyan, there would be no need to fight in the following battles. Qin Yun suddenly shouted, "I entered the top 8, quickly give me the core fragment." This is what Qiao Tianshu promised before. It won't be too late to give it after it's over. Qiao Tianshu smiled and said, "Don't be in such a hurry, our great desert sacred city will keep our word. If we die in battle, you guys will definitely go back on your word." Qin Yun said again, "Give it to us first. If we can touch the core fragment, we will have even more motivation to fight." Although Qin Yun is a formidable opponent, the other people who entered the top 8 all began clamoring, telling Qiao Tianshu to take out the core fragment. If he died in battle, who knew if Qiao Tianshu would go back on his word? Qiao Tianshu really hoped that a few people would die so that he could take the opportunity to renege on the core fragment. However, it was impossible now. He could only curse Qin Yun in his heart as he handed the core fragment to Elder Li and asked him to deliver it. Qin Yun obtained the core fragment and felt very happy in his heart. He had used up one before and now he has replenished it. The others who had entered the top 8 were also very happy. They felt that even if they could not obtain first place, the powers behind them would not blame them. As for the others, they suffered a huge loss, especially those who were filtered out during the mental power test. They wasted 1 billion immortal jade beads for nothing. Half an hour later, Qin Yun walked onto the stage. In the first match, Qin Yun and the Immortal Elder from the Immortal Clan fought consecutively. Immortal Elder Lian was wearing a set of white armor. His face was handsome and somewhat feminine. To be able to enter the top 8 meant that he had a certain level of strength. Supreme grade immortal armor? Very good. Shimen Dezhuang said in a low voice. Brother-in-law should have a good battle armor, right? Qin Yun did not have any battle armor. He only took out a set of loose gray beast skin clothes and casually put it on. The main function of this set of clothes is to assist in healing injuries. This is enough for him. Immortal Elder Lian walked up and took out an immortal sword. With a glance, one can tell that it is a very good top-grade immortal sword. Qin Yun did not have anything in his hand. He felt that only when facing a king-grade immortal tool would he feel a bit of pressure. If he was facing a sacred tool, he would need to use 9 Sun Divine Hammer. Even if your mental power Nethermoon's mental power attack is very strong, you still won't be able to defeat me. Immortal Elder Lian said with sneer. My top-grade immortal armor can withstand formidable mental power attack. If you are tactful, then obediently scram off the stage. You want me to concede? Qin Yun laughed. That's right. I don't want to waste time on you. You do have some strength, but your equipment is definitely inferior to mine. Immortal Elder Lian is very confident. After all, he had this set of equipment for a long time and refined it for many years. Just a set of lousy equipment and you are so cocky. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Youngster, relying too much on equipment is not good. Equipment is strength. The reason why I can possess such powerful equipment is because I obtained it through my own strength. Immortal Elder Lian proudly laughed. It is still not too late for you to concede now. If the battle starts, then the battle will be under my control. You will not have the chance to concede. Qin Yun looked at Elder Li. He is still fiddling with the barrier and will soon be able to open it. Immortal Elder Lian wants to kill Qin Yun. His eyes are filled with killing intent. The main reason is because of Qin Yun's great fame. If one wants to become famous quickly, not only must one have sufficient strength, one must also defeat many famous people. After killing Qin Yun, Immortal Elder Lian's fame will definitely soar. Everyone feels that Qin Yun does not have any defensive equipment. Previously, he had a very powerful pagoda, but it has already been destroyed by the sun altar. Now, he can only go up wearing beast skin. The barrier opened. Qiao Tianxiu is inside the altar. He is fiercely looking at Qin Yun. He really hopes that Qin Yun will be killed. Immortal Elder Lien is wearing white armor. When he is moving, his speed is not affected. Instead, it is much faster. Could it be that his immortal armor can increase his movement speed? It is truly a good thing. Someone cried out in alarm. At the beginning, Immortal Elder Lien was running back and forth on the spacious battle stage. His silhouette flashed here and there. It looks like there are many Immortal Elder Liens on the battle stage. Qin Yun is standing in place, constantly turning his body. Because Immortal Elder Lien is quickly moving around him, waiting for an opportunity to attack. Although Immortal Elder Lien was very cocky earlier, he is very afraid of Qin Yun in his heart. He knows that Nethermoon's mental power is very dreadful, so he must be on guard. Qin Yun suddenly released a large number of tree vines. All of them leaped out from thin air like many nimble snakes. After they appeared, they all leaped towards Immortal Elder Lien. Immortal Elder Lien's best quality immortal armor is indeed very strong. When those tree vines leaped over and touched the immortal armor, they were all bounced back by a power and turned into white ash. Although the tree vines did not cause any harm to Immortal Elder Lien, they affected his rhythm. I'll let you be unrestrained. Qin Yun suddenly released a very strong supergravity that enveloped the surrounding area. Immortal Elder Lien, who was leaping back and forth, suddenly slowed down a lot. If he was not wearing the best quality immortal armor, he would have been suppressed to the point that it would be difficult for him to move. After seeing Immortal Elder Lien appear, Qin Yun immediately rushed over. Xiao. Seeing Qin Yun attack, Immortal Elder Lien hastily waved the best quality immortal sword in his hand and swept out a large amount of white ice crystals. Those ice crystals are many small needles. They are carrying a burst of white mist. Poison! Qin Yun cursed in his heart. He pushed his palm forward and released a shockwave that brought along a gale and scattered all the ice crystals. Soon after, he used 9 extinction steps, 1,000 transformation step. On the battle stage, many Qin Yun suddenly appeared, as well as all kinds of beasts. This caused people to be endlessly shocked and burst into exclamations. Qin Yun suddenly appeared beside Immortal Elder Lien. The distance between them is only a few steps. Then he pushed his palm forward. The palm wind brought along the roar of Heavenly Lion and Berserk Dragon. It is a very strong Heavenly Lion Extinction Dragon palm. Boom! The palm energy landed on Immortal Elder Lien's body, but was blocked by his best quality immortal armor. What caused Qin Yun to be most alarmed is that he felt a rebounding power. His body was jolted back. Earlier, Qin Yun used a very strong power to beat Su Deli until he screamed. But now, Immortal Elder Lien's best quality immortal armor was able to block Qin Yun's terrifying palm energy. This defensive power is truly terrifying. Immortal Elder Lien became even more pleased with himself. He knew that Qin Yun could not do anything to him, so he did not have any misgivings and rushed forward with his sword in hand. After being sent flying for a short distance, Qin Yun stabilized his body, used passing shadow extinction breath steps, and suddenly disappeared. "Quickly look up," someone shouted. "The nether moon has appeared." Shimen Chuqian is very envious as she looked at the small black moon. Boom! After the nether moon appeared, under Qin Yun's control, a large amount of black lightning enveloped Immortal Elder Lien. "Ha ha ha, it's useless." Immortal Elder Lien laughed loudly, then jumped up and stabbed at the nether moon. Hoo hoo! The sword energy rushed over like a gale. Qin Yun quickly retrieved the nether moon. He is secretly alarmed. He did not expect that the defense of Immortal Elder Lien's armor would be so terrifying. The 29th firmament exalted immortals from the great desert sacred city felt a lot more at ease. They could tell that even someone as powerful as Qin Yun could not do anything to a supreme-grade immortal armor, let alone a saint-tier equipment. Tens of thousands of spectators also realized that a good equipment can greatly increase one's power and defense. This made people yearn for sacred-tier equipment from sacred desolate even more. Otherwise, they would not dare to deal with those formidable inscription beasts. Shimin Dezhuang cursed in low voice. Brother-in-law is an inscription master, how come he doesn't have any good stuff? Shimin Chuqian is also somewhat anxious, she sighed and said. Although husband is an inscription master, his cultivation is not very high. Even if he has good materials and runes, it will be very difficult to refine powerful equipment. It is not that Qin Yun doesn't need equipment, rather, he doesn't want to use them for now. If people see his good equipment now, they will surely be guarded against him. Moreover, he feels that defeating Immortal Elder Lien without equipment will be an interesting challenge. Immortal Elder Lien was cowering before because he is afraid of Qin Yun. Moreover, he was not confident in his equipment. Now that he can see that Qin Yun is unable to break his defense, he is extremely happy in his heart and let loose to attack. Whether it is speed or attack power, they are much stronger than before. The main thing is that he is no longer focusing on defense, he is going all out to attack. Qin Yun used several powerful big moves, but at most he could only send Immortal Elder Lien flying. Immortal Elder Lien was not injured at all. This best quality immortal armor, it should be close to king grade. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. It seems like those sacred tools are even stronger. When facing sacred tools, I have no choice but to use my equipment. Immortal Elder Lien said with smile. Qin Yun, have you given up all hope? After he finished speaking, the immortal sword in his hand suddenly flew out and transformed into many white silk cloths that quickly wrapped around Qin Yun. Qin Yun released flame from his body but was unable to burn the white silk cloth. Very quickly, Qin Yun's body was wrapped up by the white cloth. His body was tightly bound, only his eyes were exposed. Chapter 1381. Blood Soul Break Seal. Why is Immortal Senior Lien's immortal sword so strange? It suddenly turned into cloth. Shimin Dezhuang said in shock. Oh no, my husband is in danger. A supreme-grade immortal artifact is stronger than a human's body. Shimin Chuqian is very anxious, she shouted from below. Husband, quickly release your strongest blood spirit power and destroy the runes inside his immortal tool. Hearing Shimin Chuqian's shout, everyone was slightly alarmed. They immediately recalled that Qin Yun was an inscription master. If powerful blood soul power was used, it was possible to destroy the runes inside the immortal artifact. He's not the inscription profound sect. How strong can his blood soul power be? How can you destroy my supreme-grade immortal artifact? The immortal immediately looked at Qin Yun and struck out with his palm. Qin Yun was wrapped up like a dumpling, revealing only his eyes. Furthermore, he was unable to release the power in his body. At this moment, after being hit by the senior immortal's palm, it rolled on the ground like a short pillar. Husband, you are an inscription master, your mental power is very strong. If you release your blood soul power with all your strength, even if you can't destroy the runes on that top-grade immortal tool, you can still influence the rune's energy circulation. Shimin Chuqian shouted again. Quickly release your blood soul power. Qin Yun's body was tightened even more. The elder immortal laughed and said, You bastard. You have such a good concubine and you don't want it. I'm so jealous. I'll cripple you bastard. With that said, the immortal elder kicked Qin Yun with great force. Boom. That kick's power is very strong, but the white cloth wrapped around Qin Yun's body withstood most of the power. Qin Yun, quickly agree to give me the core fragment. Otherwise I will control my immortal tool and strangle you to death. Senior Immortal Lien felt that it would be very difficult for him to get first place, but if he could get one more core fragment now, he would be able to get a reward when he returned. Qin Yun's mouth and nose were tightly shut. Only his eyes could be seen on his face. He was unable to speak at all. Furthermore, he was unable to release his physical strength. Shimin Chuqian was very anxious. She grabbed Shimin Dazhuang's shoulder tightly and squeezed it so hard that Shimin Dazhuang screamed. At this moment, Qin Yun is also releasing a large amount of blood soul power to influence the runes inside the cloth strips on his body. Tighten. The immortal immediately tightened the cloth. Qin Yun's body suddenly shrunk. It was easy to imagine that if his body continued to be tightened, his bones would definitely break and he would suffer severe injuries. Everyone felt that Qin Yun was currently enduring incomparable pain. However, he was unable to scream because his mouth was being strangled. What they don't know is that Qin Yun is not suffering because he has a powerful immortal devil sacred body. When the immortal senior immortal tried to tighten his grip, he found it very difficult to continue. This made him very surprised. He thought that Qin Yun was wearing armor. The blood soul power released by Qin Yun is getting stronger and stronger. Blood soul power is the energy used to carve runes. If it is strong enough, it can affect the energy circulation inside the runes. The main reason why Immortal Senior Lien's immortal tool is so outstanding is because there are very good runes carved on it. Moreover, there is tool spirit inside the immortal tool. Quickly agree and give me the core fragment. The Immortal Senior shouted angrily and kicked Qin Yun into the air. Immortal Senior Lien, if you dare to hit my husband again, I will tear you to shreds and feed you to the dogs. Shimin Chuqian, who has always had a gentle and sweet voice, now spoke with an ice-cold voice filled with killing intent. Immortal Senior Lien is not afraid of Shimin Chuqian. He feels that their immortal family is strong enough to not be afraid of Shimin family. You don't want to give? Then I will let you suffer a bit. Immortal Senior Lien laughed nastily and charged at Qin Yun. Suddenly, the white cloth wrapping around Qin Yun loosened. A black energy rushed out from Qin Yun's body. It is unknown what kind of power it is. It is the blood soul power released by Qin Yun. Moreover, it also contains some devil power. Immortal Senior Lien's immortal tool is refined from pure immortal power. And Qin Yun's immortal devil body can also release devil power, which can corrode the pure power inside the immortal tool. Seeing Qin Yun struggle free, everyone immediately let out a cheer. Husband, well done! Shimin Chuqian delicately laughed and shouted. Immortal Senior Lien turned pale with fright. He waved his hand and called back the cloth immortal sword. Those cloth strips have been greatly affected. They are temporarily unable to turn into immortal swords. Moreover, they are completely black. Immortal Senior Lien quickly put away the cloth strips and took out a relatively short sword. Qiao Tianshu did not limit the number of weapons he can use. As long as he has enough, he can use them as he pleases. So what if you can struggle free? I have such a powerful top-grade immortal armor. You can't defeat me. Immortal Senior Lien noticed that Qin Yun's attack is unable to break through his defense. Therefore, he is very confident and fiercely attacked Qin Yun. The short sword in Immortal Senior Lien's hand is also very powerful. It flickered with cold light and emitted a cold, killing intent. When it stabbed forward, it produced a tearing sound and a sharp hissing sound. Qin Yun quickly dodged. He pressed his two fingers together and condensed a formidable power. You want to use that finger technique? It's useless. You can't break through my top-grade immortal armor. Immortal Senior Lien sneered and fiercely stabbed with his sword. Qin Yun previously used piercing mountain splitting earth finger slashing mountains and rivers, heaven exploding finger. These are all piercing heaven finger technique. And now, He is using the void-piercing finger that he just mastered not long ago. Void-piercing finger can break through space and send a formidable power through space. The reason why Qin Yun took so long to master it is because he wanted to comprehend the profound mysteries of space. The finger technique did not clearly explain how to travel through space. Therefore, he used a very long time to comprehend the mysteries of space, shattering through various channels. As long as it involves space, it requires a lot of power. Qin Yun has no other method now. Therefore, he can only use most of his power to use void-piercing finger. Suddenly, a huge tree claw appeared on the ground and firmly grabbed Immortal Senior Lien. Qin Yun used his sacred eye and instantly appeared in front of Immortal Senior Lien. Two fingers jabbed at Immortal Senior Lien's heart. Boom! A muffled sound came from inside Immortal Senior Lien's armor. Immortal Senior Lien suddenly vomited a large mouthful of blood. His face is filled with fear and shock. Qin Yun just shattered Immortal Senior Lien's heart through the armor. Immortal Senior Lien's internal injuries are very serious. Everyone let out a burst of low exclamation filled with doubt. They feel that it is very strange. Qin Yun's seemingly normal finger actually caused Immortal Senior Lien to suffer such serious injuries. Bang! Qin Yun immediately punched Immortal Senior Lien's mouth. Immortal Senior Lien screamed miserably, flew out and lied on the ground. Qin Yun closely chased after him, jumped over and chopped Immortal Senior Lien's neck with his palm like a knife. Although Immortal Senior Lien has an immortal armor to protect his body is injured and energy cannot be transferred to the immortal armor. The immortal armor's defense also dropped substantially. Qin Yun beat Immortal Senior Lien through the immortal armor, making him unable to speak. Do you want to die? If you don't want to die, give me the core fragment. Qin Yun took out the ninth heaven mysterious king saber, and said with smile. Immortal Senior Lien doesn't want to die. He also doesn't want to give the core fragment to Qin Yun. But now he has no other choice. His life is more precious than the core fragment. The seriously injured Immortal Senior Lien doesn't dare to resist. He is worried that Qin Yun will use that strange finger technique again and smash his head. Everyone opened their eyes wide in shock as they watched Immortal Senior Lien slowly take out a light golden core fragment and hand it over to Qin Yun. After Qin Yun received it, he slightly loosened Immortal Senior Lien's neck. I concede. Immortal Senior Lien is extremely scared. He secretly rejoiced that Qin Yun only smashed his heart. If his head was smashed, he would be dead for sure. Qin Yun did not kill Immortal Senior Lien because of the core fragment. Now Qin Yun has a total of 6 core fragments. After the battle stage's barrier closed, Immortal family people quickly rushed up. Although they are blaming Immortal Senior Lien, they have no choice but to heal his injuries. Everyone can see that after Immortal Senior Lien's armor was taken off, a big hole appeared on his chest. Many cracks appeared on the surface of his body and his upper body almost completely exploded. When Qin Yun walked down, his complexion is somewhat weak. With one look, it is clear that he consumed a lot of energy. He used a large amount of blood soul power to break free from the cloth and used more than half of his power to use void-piercing finger. Shimin Chuqian and Old Fox Huang were the first to rush up to protect Qin Yun. Shimin Chuqian grabbed Qin Yun's wrist and quickly transferred her Xian immortal power into him. She said softly, I am helping you, don't reject me. Qin Yun felt the Xian immortal power transferred by Shimin Chuqian and was secretly shocked. He thought that Shimin Chuqian was only a first firmament Xian immortal. Now it seems that she is very likely to be a very high-level Xian immortal. How can a powerful Xian immortal sneak into the immortal Xian desert? Qin Yun is very curious and decided to find an opportunity to ask this mysterious Shimin family's #1 beauty. The immortal family could have earned a core fragment, but now they gave it away. This is very funny. If Immortal Senior Lien did not treat Qin Yun this way, Qin Yun would not have stolen the core fragment. The Immortal family suffered a great loss. They spent 10 billion immortal jade beads to arrange for 10 ninth firmament exalted immortals to come in, but they did not get anything. The second match is between Xie Wufeng and Lu Yeming. Xie Wufeng has his origin sword, but he does not have any advantage because other people can also use weapons. Qin Yun is sitting on a chair below the stage. Shimen Chuqian deliberately squeezed into the chair with him. She placed her lily-white hands on his thighs and transferred her Xian, immortal power, to help Qin Yun recover. Now it seems that Qin Yun is the one enjoying it the most. He is sitting comfortably with a gentle beauty beside him. "Brother-in-law, let me massage your shoulders." Shimen Dezhuang walked over and said with a chuckle, "Look, eldest cousin sister is so good to you. Where can you find such a concubine?" Qin Yun did not say anything. He really wants to tear off Shimen Chuqian's mask, but he does not dare to. He is afraid of being scared. Old Fox Huang asked in low voice, "Shao Qin, do you think Xie Wufeng can win? Lu Yeming is an expert from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. His weapon should be very evil, right? Xie Wufeng will definitely win." Qin Yun knows Xie Wufeng's strength very well. Chapter 1382. 1382 Chapter 1382 Strong fighting Qin Yun can only temporarily accept Shimen Chuqian. When he sees Xiao Yuelan, he will ask her to help him take Shimen Chuqian away. Of course he can see that Shimen Chuqian threw herself into his embrace. She has her own little scheme. Xie Wufeng might win very soon. Qin Yun said again. On the fighting platform, Xie Wufeng summoned his natal sword. He summoned it once before. It was a black origin sword, but now it is flickering with cold light. His origin sword seems to have many different forms. Lu Yaming is a disciple of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Xie Wufeng killed a disciple of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate in an instant, causing the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate to be extremely furious. Lu Yaming has the appearance of a middle-aged man. His appearance is ordinary, but he has a somewhat sinister aura. The weapon in his hand is very strange. It is a black flute. He is wearing a robe with many black bells hanging on it. When he moves, the bells will ring unceasingly. The equipment of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate is indeed very evil. It looks very abnormal. After beginning, Lu Yaming shook his body, causing the bells to ring unceasingly. Ding-ling-ling. Ding-ling-ling. The bells started ringing chaotically. Many people below heard those sounds and their bodies cannot help but tremble. They are currently shivering. Soon after, Lu Yaming blew his flute again. After the flute sound spread out, many people below the battle stage started stamping their feet. Many of them even have crooked mouths and evil eyes. Luo Weizhuang, who is near Qin Yun, is constantly stamping his feet. His mouth is crooked and his eyes are slanted. His body is constantly trembling. Even Qin Yun doesn't know why, but his body is inexplicably trembling. He can only feel an inexplicable power entering his body, wanting to control his body to move chaotically. Humph! Shimen Chuqian lightly snorted, and Qin Yun immediately sobered up. Husband, that is a very special kind of power released by mental runes. It should be a fusion of mental runes and sound wave runes. It can confuse people's minds. Shimen Chuqian said softly, then grabbed Qin Yun's hand and tightly clasped their fingers. Very powerful. Qin Yun looked at the battle platform and said with a smile, I can't even resist it. That's because you've released too much blood soul power, and your spirit is still very weak, so you can't resist. Shimen Chuqian laughed tenderly. Even so, you still resisted. Look at Dezhuang. Shimen Dezhuang's mouth was crooked and his eyes were slanted. He even danced with joy, his body shaking and his buttocks twisting. He looked very funny. Qin Yun hurriedly took out the magic mirror to record it. Old Fox Huang was a person with powerful psyche, so he was completely fine. On the stage, Xie Wufeng did not move at all, watching Lu Yeming play the flute and dance. Seeing that Xie Wufeng had no reaction, Lu Yeming blew even louder and danced even more happily. Very unpleasant to hear. After Xie Wufeng finished speaking, he suddenly thrusted his sword forward. Xie Wufeng's origin sword pierced through the flute and pierced into Lu Yeming's mouth. "Give me your core fragment." Xie Wufeng's voice was slow and emotionless, but it gave off a mental pressure. At this moment, everyone recovered from the confusion caused by the sound wave. After knowing the situation, they all cursed Lu Yeming. Lu Yeming's entire body trembled in fear from Xie Wufeng's terrifying sword aura. He immediately took out the core fragment. Xie Wufeng took the core fragment and vigorously thrusted it. The origin sword surged out a kind of black sword aura and poured into Lu Yeming's mouth. Ah! Lu Yeming screamed miserably. His body was torn apart from the inside by the violent sword energy, turning into many pieces of black blood that slowly fell to the ground. Lu Yeming is dead. Another disciple of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate has died. Everyone is so scared that they don't dare to make a sound. They originally thought that Xie Wufeng would not kill anyone after taking the core fragment. They never expected that he would still kill Lu Yeming. Qin Yun said with a smile. Xie Wufeng did not promise not to kill. When everyone heard this, they all felt that it was reasonable. Xie Wufeng only asked Lu Yeming to hand over the core fragment. He did not say that he would not kill anyone after handing it over. The people of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate looked at Xie Wufeng with faces full of anger and then rushed over. Xiao Tianqu's voice came from afar. "Don't fight in my territory." After Xie Wufeng walked down the stage, he looked at the dozen or so people from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and said coldly, "After this is over, I will wait for you outside the city. All of you people from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate must die." Hearing this, everyone immediately understood that Xie Wufeng and the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate have a blood feud. Shimen Chuqian suddenly felt somewhat worried. She tightly squeezed Qin Yun's hand and said softly, "Husband, that Xie Wufeng is very strong. You will definitely have to fight him in the next battle. Don't fight him anymore. You have obtained 2 core fragments, you have already recovered your capital. I want to continue fighting." Qin Yun looked at the golden flame ball on top of the altar in the distance. Xiao Yuelan and the Sun Fairy are waiting for him to save them. "You want that Sun Fairy?" Shimen Chuqian said in low voice. "And that is very important to me." Qin Yun nodded. "I can help you snatch it." Shimen Chuqian smiled lightly. "No matter what, I will help you. If I can't get it in the end, you can help me snatch it." Qin Yun laughed mischievously and lightly patted the back of Shimen Chuqian's hand. He also believes in Shimen Chuqian's strength. Next is Shimen Feilong against Wang Tianling. Wang Tianling represents the Great Desert Sacred City. He is a 9th stage upper immortal from the Sacred Desolate. He has Sacred Spirit, Sacred Body, and also uses a sacred tool. Everyone is looking forward to it. They want to see what kind of powerful sacred tool it is. Wang Tianling is wearing light yellow leather clothes. It is not armor. He is holding a silver spear in his hand. It looks very ordinary. It is hard for people to believe that it is a sacred tool. Can little brother Feilong win? Shimen Dezhuang spoke and took Qin Yun's magic mirror. He saw his crooked mouth and slanted eyes dancing randomly like an idiot. He can't help but curse Lu Yeming. Qin Yun already sent the recording to Shimen Qinglian and Shimen Chongtian. This caused Shimen Dezhuang to go crazy. "Feilong, be careful. It doesn't matter if you can't win, you have already obtained a core fragment." Shimen Chuqian lightly shouted. If he wants to get first place, he will definitely have to fight against monsters like Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng. Just now, Shimen Chuqian secretly probed Qin Yun's power. It gave her a feeling of unfathomable depth. Qin Yun is earnestly looking at the battle stage. He wants to see how powerful Wang Tianling's sacred tool is. The battle has begun. Shimen Feilong's weapon is a large axe with a strange shape. It is carved with a dragon totem. After Shimen Feilong has a very strong inscription group inside his body, the power he can display is very formidable. However, it is very difficult to break through Wang Tianling's defense. Even if Wang Tianling just stands there motionlessly, Shimen Feilong will still find it difficult to defeat him. Wang Tianling's silver spear is very strong. When it is stabbed, it can burst out with very strong sacred power. This kind of power is as strong as Xian immortal power. Not long after, Shimen Feilong admitted defeat. He is very clear that continuing to fight is meaningless. In the end, he will still lose. Next is Li Xuanlu and Bai Shuangyan. Everyone is very optimistic about Li Xuanlu in this battle, because he is from the Great Desert Sacred City, and also has Sacred Tier equipment. Bai Shuangyan came from the Purple Ice Sacred City. She certainly did not expect to use Sacred Tier equipment to fight, so she did not bring it with her. However, when Bai Shuangyan went on stage, she put on a furry white coat, wrapping herself up like a white bear. Is that the fur of a sacred beast? Shimen Chuqian asked in amazement. It is indeed the fur of a sacred beast. Old Fox Huang nodded. Bai Shuangyan has Sacred Tier equipment. What people did not expect is that Bai Shuangyan actually went on stage with 2 long swords. Both of them are sacred tools. Qiao Tianxiu miscalculated again. Even if Li Xuanlu defeated Bai Shuangyan, his energy consumption will not be small. Now is a battle between sacred tools. Many people want to see the clash of sacred tools. The battle has begun. The battle is very intense. Both sides are not giving way. Moreover, both of their equipment are sacred tools. It is very difficult for them to injure each other. The collision of sacred tools also released all kinds of violent power, causing the battle stage to tremble with rumbling sounds. This battle lasted for more than half an hour, and in the end, Bai Shuangyan won. Although Li Xuanlu lost, his body did not suffer any injuries. It was only because he ran out of energy that he had no choice but to admit defeat. Although Bai Shuangyan won, she consumed a lot of energy. After the battle ended, she quickly took out some pills and ate them to restore her strength. Next is the semi-final battle. First match, Qin Yun against Xie Wufeng. Second match, Wang Tianling against Bai Shuangyan. Begin immediately. Qiao Tianxiu shouted. Immediately starting is to not let Bai Shuangyan have enough time to recover. In this way, Wang Tianling against Bai Shuangyan will be assured of victory. Qin Yun finally faced off against Xie Wufeng. The audience below the stage immediately boiled up. Because these two people are very violent and dreadful 9th layer upper immortals, moreover, they are not from Sacred Desolate. All the 9th layer upper immortals present, as well as Qiao Tianxiu and the other Xian immortals hiding inside the altar, are also looking forward to the battle between these two. They all want to see the appearance of both of them suffering heavy losses. Qiao Tianxiu said with a smile. If they fight, no matter who wins, they will be seriously injured and will definitely lose in the final battle. A middle-aged man said with smile. Master Qiao, it seems like we are the biggest winner. We have fished up more than 100 billion immortal jade beads. Shimen Chuqian grabbed Qin Yun's hand. She doesn't want him to go up and fight Xie Wufeng to the death. In the end, she can only reluctantly let Qin Yun go up. Old Fox Huang's expression is grave as he warned Qin Yun. Qin Yun's friends are very nervous now because Xie Wufeng is a very strong sword immortal who kills people without blinking an eye. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Xian family people all want Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng to fight to the death. It would be best if both of them perish together. They all know these two people very well. Great Desert Sacred City's 9th layer upper immortals are also the same. Only when both Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng suffer heavy losses will their Great Desert Sacred City have the last laugh. Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng are looking at each other on the stage. Their expression is very calm. It doesn't look like they want to fight to the death. Many people hope that both of us will suffer heavy losses. Qin Yun faintly smiled at Xie Wufeng and said slowly, "That's right. And the result will be the same. No matter who wins, both of us will suffer heavy injuries. It will be very difficult for us to continue the final battle." Xie Wufeng nodded and said, "Then we won't fight, how about it?" Qin Yun said with smile. "Will you let me win?" Xie Wufeng said, "If you let me win, I will give you a core fragment." Qin Yun said, "I will give you 2 core fragments. Will you let me win?" Xie Wufeng said with smile. Chapter 1383. 1383 Chapter 1383 Purple Ice Fury. Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng did not start fighting. Qiao Tianxiu and the others are extremely anxious, especially Great Desert Sacred City's Wang Tianling, because his final opponent is either Qin Yun or Xie Wufeng. He very much hopes that the two of them will fight until both of them are seriously injured. At that time, he won't have to bear so much pressure. Xie Wufeng, quickly stab Qin Yun to death with your sword. That guy is much more handsome than you. If you kill him, you will be the most handsome. Someone shouted from below. It is obvious that they are from Great Desert Sacred City. Look, Qin Yun is looking at Xie Wufeng with eyes filled with contempt. That bastard Qin Yun must be looking down on Xie Wufeng in his heart. Someone followed and shouted. It is very normal for an arrogant and conceited person like Qin Yun to look down on Xie Wufeng. What's more, he is more handsome than Xie Wufeng, so he looks down on Xie Wufeng even more. Wang Tengxing laughed loudly and said, "Xie Wufeng, kill Qin Yun and his little wife will be yours." Many people from Great Desert Sacred City are provoking Xie Wufeng. They want to sow discord between Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng. Qin Yun smiled at Xie Wufeng and said, "You see, they want us to fight to the death. We are all smart people, we can't let them have their way. I will give you 2 core fragments. You admit defeat. This is good for both of us." Xie Wufeng shook his head. "I also have a core fragment in my hand. Why don't you let me win? I can give you the core fragment." Someone shouted from below, "Because Qin Yun looks down on you. Quickly stab his head with your sword." Many people who are watching the show can't wait to see the great battle between these two experts. What they can't understand is that Xie Wufeng spoke very little before and killed people very decisively. But now facing Qin Yun, he actually said so many words. "Xie Wufeng, why are you so afraid of Qin Yun? No matter how you look at it, that guy's strength is inferior to yours. You can kill him with a few sword strikes." Wang Tengxing shouted again. Xie Wufeng did not pay attention to the people below. He looked at Qin Yun and said, "How important is it to you to get first place?" Qin Yun thought for a moment and secretly transmitted his voice to Xie Wufeng. "Boss Xie, you might have forgotten me, but I know you must find me very familiar." Xie Wufeng did not say anything after receiving Qin Yun's voice transmission. Qin Yun had sent him voice transmissions many times before. "Yulan is in the fireball above the sun altar with the sun spirit. If I get first place, the sun fairy will be mine. Yulan will also be able to leave safely with me." Qin Yun continued to transmit his voice to Xie Wufeng. After Xie Wufeng heard Qin Yun's voice transmission, he nodded and said, "All right, we will use the simplest method to decide the victor. Rock, paper, scissors." Rock, paper, scissors. The large group of people below seemed to have heard wrongly. Even Qin Yun widened his eyes in shock. "What do you think?" Xie Wufeng smiled faintly. "Isn't this method very simple? Furthermore, we won't both suffer losses." Qin Yun looked at Xie Wufeng, unsure what he was thinking. "All right." Qin Yun nodded after being stunned for a moment. Xiao Tianxiu is also dumbfounded. In order to avoid both sides suffering losses, Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng actually came up with this kind of result. Many people are greatly disappointed. The two experts did not fight until their heads bled. This is not satisfying at all. Xie Wufeng suddenly said, I will take out stones. Do you believe me? Qin Yun looked at Xie Wufeng's eyes and suddenly felt a very familiar feeling. He nodded and said, I believe you. All right, rock, paper, scissors. Qin Yun took out paper and Xie Wufeng indeed took out stones. Qin Yun won. Everyone cursed in their hearts. Playing rock, paper, scissors is one thing, but Xie Wufeng actually told others in advance that he would take out stones, and he really took out stones. I concede, congratulations. Xie Wufeng faintly smiled and then transmitted his voice to Qin Yun. Brother Yun, you will definitely be able to save Yuelon. When Qin Yun heard Xie Wufeng's words, his body trembled. Xie Wufeng actually did not forget him. He suddenly recalled that Xie Wufeng obtained a mysterious inheritance. His cultivation method is very different. Furthermore, he was later nurtured by the Netherworld Great Emperor. Maybe he has already cultivated a saint-level soul. Xie Wufeng walked down the stage. Qin Yun looked at Xie Wufeng's proud and aloof back and secretly felt excited in his heart. After Xie Wufeng walked down the stage, he walked towards the city gate. He knew that Qin Yun would definitely get first place, and he also has his own things to do. This mysterious and aloof sword immortal actually admitted defeat so straightforwardly and left very straightforwardly. This made many people unable to figure out what Xie Wufeng is thinking. After Xie Wufeng quickly left, Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people also chased after him. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, Ba Xie's mental power is so strong, he should have cultivated a saint-level soul. When Qin Yun walked down the stage, Shimen Chuqian and Old Fox Huang let out a long sigh of relief. They thought of all kinds of results, but they never thought that Qin Yun would win like this. Everyone present is the same. Even Qin Yun himself did not expect the result to be like this. Second match, Wang Tianling and Bai Shuangyan, please go up the stage. Qiao Tianxu shouted. His voice is filled with displeasure. Bai Shuangyan walked up. Her ice-cold jade face is filled with seriousness and her eyes are filled with anger. Originally, if she could rest and recover, defeating Wang Tianling would not be a problem. But Qiao Tianxu did not give her time to rest. Facing this kind of injustice, it is impossible for her not to be angry. Qin Yun used Extinction Spirit Eye to look at Bai Shuangyan but did not discover anything. Saint Martial Spirit and Immortal Martial Spirit have all fused into the body, it is impossible to see. Qin Yun said in his heart. In the past, martial spirits were in the Dantian and could be seen at a glance. After coming to the Immortal Desolate, martial spirits have fused with the body and it is very difficult to see. Moreover, most people keep the situation of their martial spirits a secret, because after becoming an immortal, martial spirits will evolve. Some people can evolve into very mysterious and very powerful martial spirit. If they are targeted by others, it will be more dangerous. In the Immortal Desolate, powers that plunder other people's martial spirits and totems can be found everywhere. The biggest power is the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Therefore, in the Immortal Desolate, everyone keeps their martial spirits a secret and will not easily tell others. Bai Shuangyan's delicate body is wrapped in thick white fur, and she is holding two sharp holy swords that flickered with cold light. After she walked onto the battle stage, her beautiful face is filled with anger. She gnashed her teeth and looked at Wang Tianling. Although Wang Tianling's light yellow leather clothes and the silver spear in his hand are Saint-tier equipment, they are not as good as Bai Shuangyan's. Bai Shuangyan, there is no point in us fighting. Wang Tianling faintly smiled. Why don't you let me win? Humph. Wang Tianling, you usually squat to pee, right? You don't look like a man at all. You actually want me, a woman, to let you win. I feel ashamed for you. Bai Shuangyan sneered and spoke very loudly. After the people under the battle stage heard this, they all burst into laughter. Shimen Dezhuang laughed and said, Wang Tianling, my Pippy Pig stands to pee, you are not even as good as my Pippy Pig. This caused another burst of laughter. Luo Weizhuang laughed and said, A big man actually has the face to ask a woman to let him win. This is indeed not like a man. Xian Yuan Yefeng sneered and said, "The men of the great desert holy city are all like this. Each and every one of them is a coward. If not for the rules they set, how could they have reached this step? During the group battle, they would have already been annihilated." Shimen Filong said, "The great desert holy city's good-for-nothings can only run amok in the immortal Xian desert. If they leave the immortal Xian desert, they won't even know how they died." Many people ridiculed the great desert holy city one after another. Because the great desert holy city set all kinds of unfair rules in this competition, it caused a lot of resentment and anger among the people. Qiao Tianshu previously thought that his family's ninth-layer upper immortals would be able to smoothly fight to the end. But later, because of the appearance of Qin Yun and Xie Wufeng, they had no choice but to set those shameless rules, which caused public anger. Bai Shuangyan said in cold voice, "Wang Tianling, even if I don't want my life, I will fight you to the end." She has upgraded equipment on her body, so she can endure for a period of time. This is also very fatal for Wang Tianling. Then come. Wang Tianling is very angry and anxious. After the barrier opened, Bai Shuangyan angrily rushed towards Wang Tianling and attacked first. At this time, in addition to the great desert holy city and their allies, everyone else is cheering for Bai Shuangyan. Because the great desert holy city has a sacred tool, Shimen Filong was defeated. At this time, the Shimen family people on the scene are constantly cursing Wang Tianling. Especially two Shimen family people, their voice is the sharpest, using all kinds of vulgar and obscene words. They cursed Wang Tianling's 18 generations of ancestors. Qin Yun knew that the Shimen family's style of doing things is very unique. Wang Tianling, who is fighting on the battle stage, has a belly full of anger from the cursing. And everyone who heard it laughed again and again. They also learned all kinds of cursing words from it. Many people never knew that people could actually curse people like this. On the battle stage, the fight is not very fierce. Because Bai Shuangyan consumed a lot of energy before, she has no time to recover. Now that she is facing a strong opponent, she can only resist and dodge. Wang Tianling is also a bit afraid that Bai Shuangyan will go all out. Moreover, the opponent is from Purple Ice Holy City. He can't be ruthless and can only endure. Soon an hour passed. Bai Shuangyan fought until she was exhausted. She lightly shouted, "I admit defeat. Wang Tianling is not much better. Although it looks like nothing, everyone knows that he has consumed a lot of energy." Qiao Tianshu loudly said, "The final battle will be held tomorrow morning." Everyone suddenly burst into curses. Qiao Tianshu before in order not to let people rest. He said not to waste everyone's precious time. The people who cursed the most fiercely are the people of Purple Ice Holy City. Qiao Tianshu did not give Bai Shuangyan a rest, but let Wang Tianling rest for such a long time. Qiao Tianshu threw caution to the wind. He doesn't care about face or not. In any case, their face has long been gone. After Bai Shuangyan was supported down, she is panting, mainly because of anger. Originally, Bai Shuangyan has a beautiful face as white as jade, but now she is so angry that her face is red and her liver is almost exploding. She let people help her to walk in front of Qin Yun. "Qin Yun, I can lend you my sacred level equipment. Although I have not refined it, it is still very useful," Bai Shuangyan said very loudly, deliberately letting the people of Great Desert Holy City hear. Chapter 1384. 1384 Chapter 1384 Divine Hammer in hand. Bai Shuangyan was willing to lend Saint-Tier equipment to Qin Yun. It must have been approved by the upper echelons of Purple Ice Sacred City. Qin Yun did not need it because those Saint-Tier equipment, if not refined, would not be convenient to use and would not be able to display the strongest power. If the opponent did not have Saint-Tier equipment, It would be reasonable, but the Saint tier equipment in Wang Tianling's hands has been refined for a long time, and its power is extremely strong. Thank you for your kindness, but I don't need it. Qin Yun smiled. Shimin Chuqian thought that Qin Yun would accept it. It was a Saint tier equipment, it was like sending charcoal in the snow. And Qin Yun did not have any good things in his hands. Don't worry, our Purple Ice Sacred City doesn't need anything from you, and we don't need you to sign any contract. Just use it. Bai Shuangyan said and handed the 2 swords to Qin Yun. I don't use swords. Qin Yun smiled and said, and your clothes are not very flexible. Bai Shuangyan looked at the people of Purple Ice Sacred City around her. They all looked at each other in dismay. Someone actually refused their Saint tier equipment. Everyone was greatly surprised. Most of the people present wanted to use Saint tier equipment. This was a very rare opportunity. What's more, Qin Yun's next battle with Wang Tianling would definitely need these equipment. There was no reason to refuse. Do you really not want it? Bai Shuangyan asked again. Thank you, Miss Bai, I really don't need it. Qin Yun declined with a smile on his face. Alright. I hope you must defeat Wang Tianling. If you win against that bastard, I will give you a core fragment. Bai Shuangyan said. Directly give a core fragment. This is much more sincere than lending Saint tier equipment. Saint tier equipment can be taken back when it is lent. And when the core fragment is given out, there is no more. Is this true? I lack this kind of thing, Qin Yun said with a smile. Miss Bai, can you make a decision by yourself? Of course I can. As long as you defeat Wang Tianling, I will definitely give it to you. If you don't believe me, you can sign a soul contract. After Bai Shuangyan finished speaking, she fiercely looked at Wang Tianling. She is very angry with Great Desert Sacred City. Qin Yun said with a smile. There is no need to sign a soul contract, I believe you. I'm going to rest first. You should rest well too. Make sure you're at your peak condition. Bai Shuangyan nodded. Qin Yun was the only one who could defeat Wang Tianling. As long as she could vent her anger, she would support him. Shimin Dezhuang laughed. Miss Bai, if my brother-in-law wins against Wang Tianling, you can also marry him and be his concubine. In a split second, Qin Yun, Shimin Chuqian, and Bai Shuangyan all looked at Shimin Dezhuang with murderous intent. This scared Shimin Dezhuang so much that he immediately hugged Pippi Pig tightly. If anything happened, he would be able to quickly kick Pippi Pig's butt out. Young Miss Bai, quickly go back and rest. Take care of yourself, tomorrow you will see how I will torture Wang Tianling. Qin Yun said with a smile. Bai Shuangyan nodded and led her people away from the battle platform. Shimin Chuqian ruthlessly stepped on Shimin Dezhuang's foot and cursed in a low voice. Dezhuang, are you courting death? Bai Shuangyan has 2 Saint tier equipment, moreover, she can freely control the core fragment in her hand. She is not an ordinary woman. I was wrong, I just wanted to help you find a partner. Later, when you 2 concubines join hands, you won't be afraid of being bullied by that fierce big wife. Shimin Dezhuang said in low voice. Qin Yun really wants to send Shimin Dezhuang flying with a palm strike. He always gives him this kind of trouble. Everyone around the battle platform also went back to rest. At the same time they spread the news to their friends. At night, everyone learned a shocking news. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people went out of the city to kill Xie Wufeng, but they were all killed miserably. This time, Nether Sect and Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate are completely at odds. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate sent 10 people, all of them were decided by the highest level. Now all of them are dead. This is undoubtedly a slap in the face. Qin Yun is not surprised by this. Xie Wufeng came from Nether Sect and Nether Sect's sect leader is Netherworld Great Emperor. Netherworld Great Emperor has enmity with Devil Immortal Great Emperor and Immortal Desolate Great Emperor. At night, Qin Yun is quietly resting in his room. He is not harassed by Shimin Chuqian. All parties are very concerned about the final battle because it is related to the ownership of the Sun Elves. Now some people are worried that Great Desert Sacred City will act shamelessly after losing. However, Purple Ice Sacred City has issued ruthless words. If Great Desert Sacred City doesn't abide by their promise and act shamelessly, they will become enemies with Purple Ice Sacred City. Those major powers have spent a large number of immortal jade beads and sent their own disciples to compete. Although they did not obtain the final victory, if Great Desert Sacred City acts shamelessly, it means that this competition is a big scam. They will feel that they have been cheated. Therefore, Great Desert Sacred City is facing this kind of pressure. They don't dare to act recklessly. This made Qin Yun and others feel a lot more relieved. The night passed very quickly. Before daybreak, the battle platform is already filled with people. They came very early to occupy the seat. Qin Yun is in very good spirits. He is wearing white clothes. He is not even wearing beast skin. This is very puzzling. Everyone is very curious. Is his white clothes a very strong sacred tool? Bai Shuangyan arrived very early and she is still next to Shimen Chuqian. She is not together with the people of Purple Ice Sacred City. Yesterday, when Shimen Dazhuang called her a concubine, Bai Shuangyan and Shimen Chuqian were very angry, but today they are together. It also makes people's imagination run wild. In fact, Bai Shuangyan wants to take this opportunity to improve the relationship between Purple Ice Sacred City and Shimen family. Their Purple Ice Sacred City, because of the mysterious masked uncle, had a very unpleasant relationship with the Shimen family. Qin Yun came very early and he has already integrated a core fragment into the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, but now he did not take out the Divine Hammer. Wang Tianling is here. Suddenly someone shouted. Wang Tianling is the same as yesterday, wearing a set of light yellow leather clothes that does not look very eye-catching. His weapon is still the silver spear. In his other hand, there is a golden ox-head square shield. At a glance, it is obvious that the ox-head square shield is a very strong sacred tool. Wang Tianling walked on the battle platform even more confidently, as if he has already won. After all, he has 3 sacred equipment in his hands and Qin Yun has none. Seeing Wang Tianling's equipment, everyone felt that Qin Yun is going to lose. Bai Shuangyan snorted and said, "What's going on with this guy Qin Yun? He actually rejected my equipment. Could it be that he despises women for using it? Or does he not want women to help him? I don't know. I also advised him to accept it, but he didn't want it." Shimen Chuqian shook her head. Brother-in-law will definitely win. If he wins against that guy, he will get a sun fairy. Legend has it that she is a great beauty. Shimen Dazhuang laughed and said, "Also, Miss Bai will give him a core fragment." Shimen Chuqian curled her lips and said, "Dazhuang, your brother-in-law doesn't seem to like any great beauty." "Oh right, who is his first wife? Have you seen her?" "I have never seen her." Shimen Dazhuang quickly shook his head. In fact, he can guess that it is Xiao Yuelan, but he is not sure. After Wang Tianling arrived, the barrier slowly opened. Qin Yun looked at the golden fireball on the altar. Last night, he also contacted Xiao Yuelan and told her about the matter here, telling her to prepare. Although Xiao Yuelan and Sun Fairy's injuries have not completely healed, their strength is not weak. Qin Yun, I didn't expect you to grow so fast. Back then, you caused trouble in front of Master Qiao, causing our entire Great Desert Sacred City to lose face. Today you came looking for trouble. I will also take this opportunity to take revenge. Wang Tianling laughed proudly. Revenge? You destroyed my pagoda. I will settle this debt with you today. Qin Yun groaned. What is that broken pagoda of yours? Is that broken pagoda a good thing in your eyes? Do you see the Saint Tier equipment on my body? These things are the real good things. You have never touched this kind of Saint Tier equipment, you won't understand, Wang Tianling said with sneer. With 3 Saint Tier equipment on him, Wang Tianling felt that it would not be a problem for him to kill Xian immortals. Begin. Xiao Tianxu suddenly shouted. His voice is filled with confidence. Everyone feels that Qin Yun has no chance of winning against Wang Tianling. After all, it is a very powerful saint tool. Of course, if he doesn't use it, everyone is very sure that Qin Yun will definitely win, and it will be very easy. The battle has finally begun. Everyone immediately focused their attention and looked at the battle stage. From the beginning, Qin Yun used passing shadow extinction breath step and suddenly disappeared without a trace. Wang Tianling is startled. He has seen Qin Yun's strange footwork before. But he believes that even if Qin Yun is hiding, he will still have some aura. However, Qin Yun's aura is not leaking out at all. Wang Tianling has a very powerful Saint Tool treasure robe on his body. Even if he is sneak attacked, he can still resist. Suddenly, something flew out in a flash. It is the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. The Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet did not become very big, it is only the size of a bucket. Under Qin Yun's mental power control, it accurately covered Wang Tianling's head. Wang Tianling's head is covered by the small Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. He is very apprehensive and it is very difficult to get rid of it. You can only cover my head. Wang Tianling's head is covered by a transparent goblet. The Saint Tier treasure robe on his body released defense to resist the attack of the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Qin Yun originally wanted to control the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet to shrink and attack, but he did not succeed. The Saint Tier treasure robe on Wang Tianling's body is indeed very strong. When everyone saw Qin Yun take out his equipment, they knew that Qin Yun is finally no longer fighting empty-handed. However, compared to Wang Tianling's Saint Tool, the transparent small goblet is very lacking. Come and attack me, don't hide. Only by defeating me can you obtain Bai Shuangyan's core fragment and obtain the Sun Fairy. Wang Tianling looked at Qin Yun and shouted, "Didn't you want to take revenge for that broken pagoda? Hurry up and come." Wang Tianling also doesn't dare to go over because he knows that Qin Yun has a lot of tricks. He is afraid of being tricked. A hammer suddenly appeared in Qin Yun's hand. It is emitting flames and the runes on the surface of the hammer cannot be seen. Although the entire hammer is spewing out intense energy flames, this kind of weapon is very common. Many inscription masters' forging hammers are like this. Chapter 1385. 1385 Chapter 1385 Divine Tool Crush the 9 Sun Divine Hammer in Qin Yun's hand emitted a raging flame aura, making it impossible for him to hide. That kind of aura is very intimidating. When Qin Yun rushed over, Wang Tianling felt that aura and immediately raised the ox-head square shield in his hand in fright. Qin Yun raised the divine hammer high and smashed it towards Wang Tianling. When everyone saw him raise the hammer, their hearts trembled. Because Qin Yun's hammer strike was very smooth, as if it contained a kind of Tao power. Seeing Qin Yun's giant hammer attack, everyone felt that the hammer was going to fall on their heads. It was very scary. When the divine hammer landed on Wang Tianling's ox-head square shield, it produced a thunderous sound accompanied by a very fierce roar of flames. The might produced by this hammer strike contained the violent power of heavenly Tao fire. Although it was impossible to sense it through the barrier, the people below the stage could see that the hammer strike was very terrifying. Wang Tianling's heart was filled with extreme fear. He was surrounded by flames. His arm that was tightly holding the square shield was burning with pain. He could clearly feel that the inside of the square shield in his hand had received a very strong impact just now. It was simply unable to resist that kind of burning power. That hammer strike just now was like a furious thunder. It was precisely Forging Dragon's thunder tremor style. Wang Tianling stood in a bow stance and raised his shield to block. His head was covered by the Heaven and Earth Devil Sealing Goblet. Through the transparent wall of the goblet, he looked at Qin Yun, who was covered in flames, and felt very shocked. Qin Yun immediately followed up with another hammer strike. Although the speed was not fast, the power was very strong. Wang Tianling could only clench his teeth and raise his shield to block. The divine hammer fell, bringing along a roaring roar. This is Forging Dragon's roaring roar style. It hit the square shield and caused sparks to burst out. Seeing this scene, everyone cried out in alarm. The Saint Tier square shield was actually smashed to the point that some small fragments flew out. That is a Saint Tier equipment. Being smashed into pieces means that the hammer in Qin Yun's hand is at least a Saint tool. Qin Yun also has a Saint tool. This made Qiao Tianxu unable to sit still. He looked at the distant battle stage with incomparable worry. Wang Tianling now knows that the divine hammer in Qin Yun's hand is incomparably terrifying. His arm that was holding the shield is trembling and in pain. He knows that his square shield won't be able to hold for long. Boom! Qin Yun quickly and violently swung the hammer. The hammer fell like a flowing light and struck the center of the square shield. Forging Dragon's flowing light form. A dent appeared on the bull's head on the square shield. Bai Shuangyan was stunned because she clearly saw the power of the bull-headed square shield, but now it was dented by someone. She finally understood why Qin Yun didn't want her Saint Tier equipment. It was because Qin Yun had something better in his hands. Hurry up and stab him. What is that silver spear in your hand for? Qiao Tianxu shouted angrily. Wang Tianling was so scared that he didn't dare to retaliate because he had to focus all of his power on defense. After being yelled at by Qiao Tianxu, the silver spear in his other hand stabbed out. Qin Yun snorted coldly and hurriedly brandished the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer. Using the ferocious might of the Heavenly Tao, he executed the Forging Dragon Mountain Collapse style and swept it across, striking the tip of the silver spear. Dang! A burst of flames flickered, followed by a crisp sound. Everyone only saw a ball of flame suddenly fly out. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be the spearhead of that silver spear. That silver spear was a saint artifact. Previously, it had clashed with Bai Shuangyan's pair of holy swords many times, but not a single mark was left. But now, the spearhead was sent flying by Qin Yun's hammer. Qin Yun hurriedly raised the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer high. The head of the hammer was burning with raging flames, like a flaming meteor falling. This is the Forging Dragon Falling Star style. Boom! The hammer smashed down and hit Wang Tianling's ox-head square shield, causing violent flames to splatter in all directions. What made everyone dumbfounded was that several cracks appeared on the ox-head square shield. It was actually cracked. Everyone found it hard to believe that the hammer in Qin Yun's hand had destroyed two saint artifacts in a row. It could be seen that it was an extraordinary weapon. Even Qiao Tianxu stared blankly at the battle platform. Looking at the damaged saint artifact, he felt heartache and shock, as well as incomparable anger. The last hammer strike! Qin Yun's hammer fell and the aura that surged out was like the sky collapsing. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled. The energy was like a violent fire and thunder that landed on the square shield. The explosion shook the sky in all directions and the entire battle platform shook violently. The flames roared and attacked in all directions. Countless fragments splashed and the Saint Tier shield was actually shattered. One of Wang Tianling's arms also exploded and was shattered into sparks by the fierce flames. Boom! The fire hammer in Qin Yun's hand swept horizontally and quickly struck towards Wang Tianling's chest. Wang Tianling still has a Saint Tier treasure robe on his body. It produced a very strong defensive barrier, but it was destroyed by the Nine-Sun Divine Hammer. Ah! Wang Tianling let out a blood-curdling scream. His chest was pierced by the flame energy released by the hammer, and a pillar of fire came out from his back. The last of Wang Tianling's Saint Tier equipment was also destroyed. At this moment, the heaven and earth devil sealing goblet covering Wang Tianling's head suddenly shrank and tightened around his head. Even if Wang Tianling wanted to admit defeat, he couldn't say anything. The audience is incomparably quiet, everyone is so shocked that they can't make a sound. The incomparably powerful Saint Tool was destroyed by the fire hammer in Qin Yun's hand in 2 or 3 strikes. They looked at the big hole in Wang Tianling's chest and knew that the outcome was already decided. Release him. Xiao Tianshu suddenly shouted. I will give you the core fragment, not releasing. Qin Yun coldly shouted. The heaven and earth devil-sealing goblet suddenly shrank, causing Wang Tianling to roll on the ground in pain. Qin Yun rushed over, the divine hammer swept horizontally, energy surged and actually hammered Wang Tianling's body into 2. This caused everyone to shiver in fear. After Qin Yun took back the heaven and earth devil-sealing goblet, he jumped up and fiercely hammered the ground. The flame burst out with extremely high temperature, it burned the 2 halves of the body into ashes, leaving behind only fragments of upgraded equipment. The 9-Sun Divine Hammer can release all kinds of power by several times. Qin Yun's power as a 9th stage Ascendant Immortal is already comparable to a Xian Immortal. After being amplified by the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, his power became even more dreadful. Wang Tianling has been killed. His 3 Saint Tier equipment have been destroyed. Originally, everyone thought that Wang Tianling would definitely win since he has 3 Saint Tier equipment. Even if he can't win, nothing bad will happen to him. But now, not only is he dead, his Saint Tier equipment has also been destroyed. Brother-in-law is awesome. Shiman Dazhuang suddenly shouted, breaking the silence. Everyone sucked in a mouthful of cold air and looked at Qin Yun in a daze. They looked at the hammer with fiery eyes. That is the most dreadful weapon. Now, everyone understands why Qin Yun did not accept Purple Ice Sacred City's Saint Tier equipment. Because he simply does not fancy those things. Bai Shuangyin is surprised and also somewhat embarrassed. Qin Yun put away the 9-Sun Divine Hammer to prevent others from sensing his aura after the barrier closes. I won. Qin Yun looked at the entrance of the altar. Xiao Tianshu and other Xian immortals are standing at the entrance of the altar. Yu. Xiao Tianshu is so angry that he doesn't know what to say. He really wants to kill Qin Yun. Old Fox Huang's mental pressure suddenly burst out because many 9th stage Ascendant Immortals of Great Desert Sacred City are surrounding the battle stage. Bai Shuangyin shouted, Xiao Tianshu, Qin Yun is the final winner, do you want to renege on the debt? Xiao Tianshu calculated thousands of times. He never expected Qin Yun to have such a powerful item. He is now even more curious about Qin Yun's identity. Of course, everyone knows that Qin Yun is Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror's brilliant disciple. Shiman Feilong furiously shouted, Great Desert Sacred City, if you renege on the debt, I will raze your city to the ground. Many of the participants have been miserably tricked by Xiao Tianshu's rules. Xiao Tianshu made all kinds of rules but he still did not win. These victims are very happy to see this. And now, Xiao Tianshu wants to act shamelessly, these victims are very unhappy. I did not say I want to renege on the debt. Qin Yun, we don't know the situation with the Sun Elf. We have no choice but to use the altar's barrier to seal it. If we open the barrier, you won't be able to resist the angry Sun Elf. What will we do then? Xiao Tianshu indeed does not want to give up the Sun Elf. They also never thought that they would lose. But now they have lost. If the seal is opened, their sun altar will be in great danger. I have won the final victory. You close the barrier and I will take away the Sun Elf. Qin Yun said. With Old Fox Huang and Shiman Chuqian here, Qin Yun doesn't need to be afraid of Great Desert Sacred City's Xian immortals. All right, Great Desert Sacred City's disciples, quickly enter the altar. Xiao Tianshu suddenly shouted, Everyone else, leave the city, otherwise you will have to bear the consequences of death or injury. Everyone knows that the Sun Elf's strength is very valiant. Previously they broke through Great Desert Sacred City and injured a large number of Great Desert Sacred City's disciples. A large group of people left the altar one after another. They ran to the city wall and looked at the altar from a distance. Purple Ice Sacred City's people also withdrew their battle stage and left. There are only Qin Yun, Old Fox Huang and Shimen Chuqian in front of the altar. After Bai Shuangyan gave Qin Yun an inner core fragment, she also wanted to stay but was persuaded by Purple Ice Sacred City's people to leave. Many people are standing on the Great Desert Sacred City's city wall. They all want to see how Qin Yun will take away the Sun Elf. Qiao Tianxiu and others are inside the altar. It is also the safest because the altar's defense is very strong. It is very difficult to break in. Xiao Qin, I don't think that Qiao Tianxiu will let this go so easily. Old Fox Huang said in low voice. Husband, you destroyed a few pieces of their Saint-grade equipment and killed Wang Tianling to obtain first place. Given the Great Desert Holy City's style, they definitely won't let you off so easily. Shimen Chuqian, who was wearing a rabbit mask, said in a low voice. Shimen Chuqian is actually not afraid of Qiao Tianxiu because she is a very strong Xian immortal. She is only worried about the Sun Elf. The main reason she came here this time is to study the Sun Elf. Qin Yun, go up the altar. After you go up, we will undo the barrier. Qiao Tianxiu shouted. Qin Yun said to Old Fox Huang and Shimen Chuqian, wait for me here, I will go myself. Old Fox Huang nodded. He knows that the Sun Elf and Xiao Yuelan are inside. They will definitely not harm Qin Yun. Chapter 1386. 1386 Chapter 1386 Breaking through the altar. At the top of the sun altar, a large fireball is floating. Through the fireball, one can see a pair of wrapped fairy wings inside. The Sun Elf is wrapped inside the wings. Qin Yun quickly walked up the 17th step of the altar and looked at the top platform, waiting for Qiao Tianxiu and others to open the barrier. The people on the city wall are all using telescope tools to look. Bai Shuangyan said in a low voice, Qin Yun, this person is really hidden. He actually has such a powerful sacred tool. Even in Sacred Desolate, the sacred tool in his hand is rare. Where did he get it from? Senior Bai, this Qin Yun is indeed very mysterious. He is very strong. He even cultivated a powerful spirit Nether Moon. A person from Purple Ice Sacred City said in low voice. Bai Shuangyan looked at Shimen Dezhuang, who is not far away, and suddenly shouted, Young Master Shimen, come here for a moment. Shimen Dezhuang quickly walked over and said with mischievous smile, Young Master Shimen, why are you looking for me? Your brother-in-law is now in danger. Don't tell me you are not worried? Bai Shuangyan asked. She also wants to probe Shimen Dezhuang's words. What's the use of me worrying? Besides, my brother-in-law is very awesome. Shimen Dezhuang said with smile. Young Lady Bai, being his concubine is definitely not a bad thing. Where can you find a man like my brother-in-law? A youth said, Senior Bai has a good relationship with our Purple Ice Sacred City's youngest Inscription Grandmaster. Don't mess around. Inscription Grandmaster is nothing. Shimen Dezhuang curled his lips and said, Qin Yun is the Inscription Profound sect. Bai Shuangyan did not say anything. She used a telescope tool to look at Qin Yun. She also feels that Shimen Dezhuang is right. A man with such high talent like him is very rare even in Sacred Desolate. Qiao Tianxiu and others need some time to open the barrier. This caused everyone to be extremely anxious. Shimen Chuqian, who is beside Old Fox Huang, suddenly became nervous. Old Fox, how strong is that Sun Elf? I heard that you fought with Sun Elf at close range. Shimen Chuqian asked in low voice. Tell me about that Sun Elf's strength, I might have to fight her later. Little girl, your opponents are those guys inside the altar. Sun Elf will not attack Qin Yun. Old Fox Huang's voice is solemn. He has always been looking at the door of the sun altar. Shimen Chuqian is somewhat doubtful. She also does not know why Old Fox Huang is so sure. Old Fox Huang said again. Little Qin met the Sun Elf before. Their relationship is very good. He came this time to save the Sun Elf. Shimin Chuqian was startled and asked in a low voice, "That Sun Elf, could she be husband's wife?" "No," Old Fox Huang said. Qiao Tianshu suddenly shouted, "Qin Yun, are you ready?" Qiao suddenly shouted, Qin. Hurry up!" Qin Yun urged. The barrier at the top of the altar suddenly disappeared. Down. Old Fox, Qiao Tianshu and the others immediately went on high alert. They felt that Qin Yun might fight with the Sun Elves, but what surprised them is that the flame is actually very calm. Qin Yun released his mental power and guided the flame. Then he slowly walked down the sun altar. Everyone is tongue-tied. Flame Star Heaven Elf slowly moved along with Qin Yun, floating towards Great Desert Holy City's gate. However, at this moment, a small sun condensed at the top of the sun altar. "Kill!" Qiao Tianshu furiously shouted. He is suppressing his anger. He originally thought that Qin Yun would definitely be eliminated when he signed up for the competition, but Qin Yun was able to enter the top 80. He originally thought that Qin Yun would be killed by Su Deli in the group stage, but in the end, Su Deli was the one who was killed. And later, when Qin Yun fought Wang Tianling, not only did he kill Wang Tianling, he also destroyed 3 of their Saint-tier equipment. What made Qiao Tianshu most furious is that Qin Yun was not attacked by the Sun Elf. This made him think that Qin Yun knew the Sun Elf and ordered him to attack Great Desert Holy City. Qiao Tianshu is unable to suppress his anger. He promptly controlled the altar and condensed formidable power to attack Qin Yun and the Sun Elf. Sun Altar's attack this time is very fast, so its power is not very strong. In the blink of an eye, it attacked. The Sun Elf, who had turned into a ball of fire, seemed to have sensed it and immediately blocked in front of Qin Yun. Rumble! After the small sun attacked, all the buildings in the city were destroyed by the flame shockwave. The surroundings of the altar turned into a sea of fire. The city walls were also torn apart by the flame shockwave. The spectators can only madly run through the flames to the distant sand dunes and continue watching in astonishment. No one is surprised that Qiao Tianshu attacked because this is the style of the Great Desert Holy City. If Qiao Tianshu did not attack, that would be very abnormal. The Sun Elf, who has turned into a ball of fire, immediately absorbed the sunfire. The ball of fire suddenly exploded and a strong light appeared in the sky. The Sun Elf has appeared. Opening the pair of beautiful and huge elf wings, one could immediately see the Sun Elf's fiery hot body. Only a few pieces of cloth covered the important parts. Her skin was creamy, her looks were natural, and her ears were pointed. Her flowing golden hair and beautiful blue eyes gave her a different kind of wild charm. And the most shocking thing is that there is also a beautiful and arrogant woman wearing a white tight dress with a ponytail on the ground. It is Guang Han Palace's Xiao Yuelon. Everyone knows that Xiao Yuelon had fought with the Sun Elf before and injured him. Xiao Yuelon did not come to participate in the martial arts competition. Everyone thought that she was healing her injuries. Who would have thought that she was actually with the Sun Elf? Qin Yun immediately flashed to Old Fox Huang's side. Shimin Chuqian hurriedly asked, "Husband, are you the masked uncle? Xiao Yuelon is your first wife?" The mysterious masked uncle is someone that Xiao Yuelon cares a lot about, and the reason why Qin Yun suddenly appeared here is mainly to save Xiao Yuelon. Shimin Chuqian immediately figured it out. This made her find it hard to believe that Qin Yun, this inscription profound sect, not only is his inscription technique outstanding, his strength is also very terrifying. She finally felt that Shimin Dazhuang had done the right thing. He had finally found a very reliable husband for her. Qiao Tianshu is also dumbfounded. He was most worried about Xiao Yuelon. He never expected that she would be healing together with the Sun Elf. The Sun Elf was attacked, and he flew into a rage out of humiliation. Qin Yun suddenly took out the mysterious golden red divine bow and placed a core fragment inside. The divine bow suddenly flickered with an intense golden-red light. Shimin Chuqian, who is at the side, immediately realized that it is a very terrifying weapon. Catch! Qin Yun shouted. The Sun Elf also sensed that the divine bow has awakened. She immediately waved her hand and the divine bow appeared in her hand. This made her extremely happy. She thought that the divine bow would be taken away. After the Sun Elf took the divine bow, she immediately pulled the bow and aimed it at the entrance of the Sun Altar's first floor. A golden arrow suddenly condensed on the divine bow. The bowstring trembled and produced an explosive sound. An arrow condensed from flame shot towards the entrance of the Sun Altar. Boom! With a loud explosion, the Sun Altar trembled from the attack. "If you have the guts, come out!" the Sun Elf coldly shouted. "That arrow just now was unable to break the barrier of the entrance. All of you must die!" Qiao Tianshu furiously shouted. He promptly controlled the Sun Altar and continued to condense energy, preparing to attack. Qiao Tianshu and the others are hiding inside the altar, not daring to come out. They are very clear that once they come out, they will be exterminated by the Sun Elf. Qin Yun sent a voice transmission to Xiao Yuelan, telling her and the Sun Elf to continue attacking the entrance below the Sun Altar and attract Qiao Tianshu's attention. "Chuqian, you and Old Fox watch from the side. Protect Yuelan and the others." Qin Yun said. "What about you?" Shimin Chuqian asked. "I have something to do." After Qin Yun finished speaking, he suddenly disappeared. Old Fox Huang promptly waved his hand, controlling a large amount of yellow sand to flutter and surround the Sun Altar, blocking Qiao Tianshu and the others' line of sight. Shimin Chuqian promptly arrived beside Xiao Yuelan and said in low voice, "I will protect you." "All right." Xiao Yuelan nodded. She is still injured and she can sense the formidable power coming from Shimin Chuqian's body. The Sun Elf continuously pulled the bow and frantically attacked the Sun Altar. After Qin Yun disappeared, he quietly moved to the other side and climbed up the Sun Altar. "Sun Altar? Let's see if you are harder or my 9 Sun Divine Hammer is harder." Qin Yun took out the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and controlled it to become very large. The hammer head is like a huge mountain. "What is that bastard doing?" Through the magic tool, Qiao Tianshu saw a huge hammer on the altar and immediately became extremely flustered. "That is Sun Soul." The Sun Elf saw the 9 Sun Divine Hammer and felt astonished. Qin Yun used his strongest mental power to control the enlarged 9 Sun Divine Hammer. At the same time, he channeled a very formidable power into the Divine Hammer. The hammer head smashed down and hit the small sun at the top of the altar. After the small sun that has not yet condensed was hit by the 9 Sun Divine Hammer, it seems like it was swallowed. The small sun's power was swallowed by the 9 Sun Divine Hammer, and the power released by the hammer became even stronger. Boom! The top of the Sun Altar's 18th layer has actually been smashed to pieces. The fragments flew out in all directions along with a violent flaming storm. The spectators in the distance are all boiling with excitement. One after another they cried out in alarm. Bai Shuangyan and the other people from Purple Ice Sacred City are incomparably terrified. They are very clear about how formidable the Sun Altar is, but now one layer has been smashed to pieces. Qiao Tianshu and the others are extremely terrified because the Sun Altar's defense has been broken. Qin Yun also did not expect that releasing the 9 Sun Divine Hammer's full power would consume such a huge amount of energy. After the 9 Sun Divine Hammer finished attacking, it entered a dormant state. Its surface is still very hot. "Kill your way in," Xiao Yuelan suddenly shouted. "The Sun Elf can fly. His speed is the fastest." He immediately rushed towards the entrance of the bottom layer, pulled his bow and shot an arrow. "You are all dead!" Qiao Tianshu roared in anger. He took out a large white fan and promptly placed it in front of him. At this moment, Old Fox Huang and Shimin Chuqian also madly rushed over. Roar, roar, roar! beast roars suddenly came from all directions. The formidable inscription beasts hiding in the vicinity have been waiting for an opportunity. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.